Yeah, dude, I'm so excited. Are you excited?
Dude, I'm incredibly excited. I've been excited for this all week because one, I just love tournaments, and two, I missed the final 3 brackets. So please, could you catch me up? What did I miss last week?
Okay, so let me tell you about the final 3 brackets. So, basically what we had, the ones you were actually here for, which was on the first day, we saw, I want to say, I can't remember exactly who was in each group, but you saw dominating performances by a lot of players. You saw like Crone and Ashen actually qualified in the last group that you weren't, the last group of day 1 that you weren't actually around for, where where Aesop was here casting, which is actually really fun.
I missed Aesop casting. Wait, that sounds hilarious.
Wait, were you not here for the Aesop cast? Okay, so Aesop,
I heard about it, but that's as far as it went.
Aesop's casting. Let me summarize Aesop's casting for you. Aesop's casting is like, he's just like a low-key guy, just sort of, you know, just talking about what's going on until like he goes into full like Super Saiyan casting mode, and he just fucking shouts over the mic and just, oh my god, it's great. But anyways, the point is,
he's a peak gamer.
Yeah, he feels that passion. It gets to him, and it's great. But in any case, the point is, we have an insane cast of competitors. We have a wide variety too. It's honestly, it's a lot of the names you expected to make it, but there's also a lot of surprises too. So we have players who obviously have been dominating consistently for a long time. You have Homecoming, you have a Verse, you have a Shox. These are players we all know and expected to do well, and of course they did. We also have some players that are sort of, honestly, to me, a little bit surprises, but they played well, they played consistently, and they made it in. I'm talking, of course, about like Elite Miko. I'm talking about, honestly, we know Blem is a great player, but I don't think anyone even really was expecting Blem to make it out of the group stages like as like a sure pick. So like, I'm really happy to see Blem in here, because Blem brings a playstyle that we don't really have in a lot of our other competitors.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of, yeah, like we mentioned earlier, we're seeing a lot of people that we kind of expect to be here, but, I mean, I will be quite frank, these are some names that you didn't expect, like Lenny. Lenny's not a solos player, this man's a squads player.
Yeah, Lenny's like, a consistent squads player.
The only Hyun Wo here, I believe? I'm sorry, we're saying Hyun against Ramir.
PM Howard.
Oh, we might see some, yeah, no, PM Howard is literally the random card. He's the Joker card here. He could be anything.
Yeah, Howard can bring, like, he has like a cast of like, I don't know, 3 or 4 characters that he consistently plays, but like, yeah, he can really bring any sort of spice. He does not have comfort picks. He only has like what he thinks is going to be like a cute pick for this current rank. But in any case, guys, that's enough delaying. That's enough filibuster. It's time to get right into the games. Tom, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, man.
All right, let's get it started. Game 1 begins now as soon as Teska decides to hit start.
Oh, I will need to share your screen.
Oh, yeah, you kind of do need to see what's going on, don't you?
I mean, a little bit. I could just hype you up there. You could be like, wow, a Verse is killing. Like, dude, yeah, Verse is really destroying that guy. Wow. Dude, beautiful ability usage.
He's popping off with those skills. It's crazy. Okay, here we go. You should be able to see it now.
All right. All right, yeah, we're good to go.
Perfect.
Okay, so right off the bat, I think we're seeing everybody on characters. They are pretty comfortable. Blem, is Blem normally a heart player? I swear, I've always seen him on the scene.
No, Blem is absolutely a heart player. Also, you got quiet again just now.
Did I? Oh god, okay. I'm just not going to move a muscle.
Yeah, you gotta stay right there. Yeah, Blem to me is a heart player. Like, that's exactly the character I expect out of him. He plays Satisfaction Heart. He plays Enad Heart. So that's the exact playstyle I'm expecting out of him. Oh, also, yeah, I forgot about Magnusape. Dude, I want to see Magnusape. Okay, Magnusape is a player I expected to qualify simply on placement alone, but then
that is the type of playstyle.
But then Magnusape showed up and actually dominated his group. It was absolutely insane. I have to remove the blocker 1 second.
I mean, Magnus is a character that can pick up a lot of kills very early. He just has a hard time catching up, especially when you look at this lobby alone. How do you catch up to pretty much nearly everybody here? Everybody in this lobby, every character has such insane mobility, minus Sissela. Everybody else is just gonna walk away.
So, okay, hold on. Real quick, you just mentioned Sissela. I want to... Okay. I was about to get totally thrown out there. So, Deus, for a second, was starting in Doc, and I was like, that's that can't be right. Like, I've never seen a CCeles build that ever started in Doc. So, okay, he didn't actually start Doc, he's starting Chapel. He's for sure playing the crit on hit, like, auto attack build. It's very popular. It's something that we're all kind of annoyed with at this point, but hey, it's good. That's why he's playing it.
Hey, it's such an insane build to even like try in the contestant once online, and the speed, I mean, just like any crit build, the speed of picking up those items are insane, and the items are such a low contention. The moment you get your items out, we're starting to see Averse doing his typical strategies.
Hold on, what is this blue weapon that Averse has right now, and why is it doing so much damage against this Jackie?
Scorch Bro is quite the strong weapon. If you know, it just has kind of 25 attack power and 18 flat F. Turns out it does a lot of damage really early in the game. The Jackie can't do anything on just a rusty sword.
So Alexich is forced, I mean, it's not even gonna really mess him up that much, but he is forced back. He is forced to sort of run away. It's gonna mess up his looting patterns at least somewhat. We have Homecoming and Shox sitting awfully close to each other, but neither of these players have finished, say, a plasma sword yet. But also, guys, Xiaosei. Okay, this is something you guys probably don't know about. Xiaosei, oh, Elite Miko actually will fall first to Blem. Blem doesn't even have his weapon finished, but Elite Miko gets caught out here by Blem, takes a ton of damage. Now Xiaosei is actually in trouble, getting bullied out by Homecoming, who is very close to finishing. Yeah, he has finished that plasma sword. That is going to be messing up Xiaosei's game plan.
I think we're going to see some very fast games here. We're going to see a ton of early kills, I believe. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of these players rat. A lot of these people are very, very aggressive players on very aggressive characters.
Absolutely. Also, so the thing I was saying just a moment ago is that there were some in-houses being done between these top competitors. You probably saw them if you were watching Averse's stream, because Averse had been streaming them. Yeah, a lot of, oh, hold that thought. Xiaosei getting bullied out by Blem. Oh, he W's in the wrong direction as a panic move, and Blem takes out Xiaosei at the start of game 1. Okay, that's a bit of an upset.
You know that's gonna build his confidence up, right? That's such a nice feeling. You just took out easily. I'm not gonna say one of the best players in the lot, but just one of the best players in this game, period.
Absolutely. So the thing I was trying to say before Xiaosei just died was that in those in-houses, Xiaosei won, like, I want to say like half of them. They played like 10 in-houses. Xiaosei won at least half of them. He was doing so well in those in-houses. And yeah, just now, right at the start, Blem catches him in Chapel and kills him before he can finish his weapon.
Man, hard early game damage. It's something you just kind of forget at times. When you don't see Enad that popular. Ooh, Shox having to run away here.
Yeah, Shox having to get... Like, he knows that PM Howard, who I assume... Oh, it's a Loigorn's. Oh, so he's running this build
again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, Shox is forced to run away from PM Howard. I don't think he has that much finish. It's just the plasma sword. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have Alexich with an Erendite finish. Also the White Rhinos. He's doing that very safe Alley Factory farm-based build. So we know that that's going to be... Honestly, it's going to be really good going to the late game. Also, hold on. I need to know, who is Homecoming playing? Oh yeah, he's playing Yuki.
He's on Yuki. I wanted to bring this up earlier because I was fully expecting the Dean to come out of him.
I think everyone was. Oh.
We're gonna see Celeste and Blem take this fight. Blem already has 2 kills on his team. He's gonna be ahead on Mastery here, but trying to kill that Aya is not gonna be an easy task. All that fighting did mean that Blem wasn't able to pick up his items earlier, so he does need to back off just a little bit.
So I've been noticing over here in Pond, we have Ironic and Lenny getting awfully close to each other consistently. Lenny has some bamboo traps down, but Ironic has a telephoto camera to see it happening. Also, keep in mind, I think Lenny is just trying to contest this over here, but oh, forget that. Celeste and Blem, they're still going at it over here in Hotel. Celeste dropping incredibly low to Blem, but seems to have gotten away anyways. Doesn't look like he's actually going to end up going to... Oh. Unless this connects.
It's a slow, does land.
It does not.
No.
It does not. That is a Devil's Marksman too.
He's been running this on the ladder for a little while now. It's interesting. I've been noticing 2 types of people in this tournament playing the game right now. They've either been testing out their builds a ton, hiding their names, or they've just been not playing the game at all.
Ooh, and Deus. Look at that build. So Deus hits full build. We also have Crone also on full build. And I mean, you could kind of say Ironic is full build. He's pretty close. Averse, Ghost Electricity, ending up seeing each other over here in Cemetery. Our 2 Hedgen players, both dropping each other fairly low, and no one else is really here to third party. I was gonna say you're gonna see Averse trying to like avoid hitting that boar to avoid losing his omens, but looks like he's just gonna commit to killing the boar anyways.
And this is gonna be the awkward part, because I do believe these both Hessians are on the exact same build right now.
Is that just not updating? Hold on, Ghost Electricity, he's a versus on a Scorch Bow still?
Oh, wait. I thought they were just on the same items. I didn't know you were pathing between the two of them. Yeah,
no.
Wait, they're just objectively stronger here.
They're very different. Like, I don't even think that Averse is objectively stronger here at the moment, because he has the Gojin done. He has Straight Jackets, he has Sunset. Oh, he just finished the Elemental Bow. Okay, now I actually definitely give it to Averse in this situation, because keep in mind, Ghost Electricity, he just has a Commander's Armor and the Gilded Quill Fan to give him any sort of damage.
Yeah, I do believe it will be whoever. Oh my goodness.
I believe Howard has sniffed out a rat here. I don't think he's going to try and like, Ironic's just trying to run away. He is so much squishier. Blem ended up getting caught between Crone and Ashen, our two Fioras who are, I guess, chasing each other now. Oh, Ashen, clicking a telephoto camera. I can already smell the complaint post in the feedback section. Ooh, he is dropping awfully low against Crone. It looks like Ashen, I mean, he has the Mithril Armor, but is the Creed...
He's slightly faster here.
I was gonna say, is the Creed, like... Yeah, I mean, with the Creed movement speed penalty, plus the movement speed bonus from the Mithril Armor for Ashen, like, there's no way he doesn't just get away.
But right now, I don't think we're seeing anything too crazy on the map. I am curious about some of the more interesting pick here. Yeah, you went right to the right person. What's Magnus Save doing here?
I already wanted to know what Magnus Save is doing. So he's got... I guess also I'm seeing Celeste getting chased up by PM Howard, so actually let's go check in on that. PM Howard playing very aggressively. Does he have the weapon skill? He does. So he just hit level 7 mastery. That means he does have access to that weapon skill. Gives him a huge damage boost that he wouldn't otherwise have. Now speaking of Magnus Save, now he is involved in this fight. He's got the Cube Launch done. He's on Statue of Soteria. He's playing Bonk Magnus.
This is not what I expected to see out of Magnus, to be honest. I expect to see Spell Amp if anything, but Howard is not going to respect the damage. Magnus is going to start away. Howard does drop the first Rampage, gets a second Rampage off, but he doesn't have his passive up for the stun, and, well, we're going to see what Magnus does, what he does best, which is get out of any situation with that ultimate.
Ooh, Mage8 dropping very low to Ashen. He pops the ultimate for that extra HP. He throws down the root, and it's really hard to chase a... What's this character name? Chiara, when you have that route available to you. Like, the 1.5 second route that you basically can't avoid, it's really hard to chase.
Yeah, she's really hard to chase, and just with an innate, insane base movement speed. This character is just not winning away from easy. But speaking of running, I don't think Cora's going to figure out how to run here. Or not. Never mind. Look at this damage going on.
Ooh, okay. That was not a result I expected, but we do have a third party, Homecoming, coming in from the side, whiffing his ultimate, which will actually give Alex a chance to escape here. Oh, but the nice parry does keep that distance. Alexich drops to Homecoming.
And that was, Ghost Electricity dropping in the background as well.
Yeah, like right during that fight, we actually had DeusXM fighting Ghost Electricity and ending up taking him down. We have Ironic doing what he does best, running away from Ashen. This time, yeah, looks like he'll be getting away once again. Ashen, honestly, looking like a powerhouse right now. He is really just trying to chase people down.
Yeah, this is kind of just taking advantage of what Fiora does best, which is snowball that early game and just straight up stat check anybody he runs into. Sunset's just doing so much damage you just can't turn around, but it doesn't even matter right now. We're seeing Deus fighting Homecoming here, and he's running really low, but that still passive is going to start ticking up really soon.
This is one of the hardest matchups for CCeles too. Yeah, CCeles will drop their Deus, dropping to Homecoming. Now we have Shoix, who's getting awfully close. He is on two-hand sword Jackie. He doesn't even have a sword upgrade. He is still on that plasma sword, which is, it's still quite good. But against Homecoming, who has all that mastery from getting 2 kills, Auto Arms and Leviathan, plus the Mithril Helmet. My god, Homecoming is in fantastic shape at the moment.
Yeah, you know he's cheesing right now. He's having the time of his life when he saw his own items. He's like, this is going to be a good game. And he could possibly snowball this to a very, very solid lead in the first game, which that's kind of position you want to be in right now.
So let's take a, let's check in on our players. What are our builds so far? It looks like we have, honestly, kind of what I expected. It's a lot of auto attack based builds. Like the only real caster I'm seeing is, I mean, you could kind of say Celeste with the Devil's Marksman, but honestly, really, it's just a burst. He's going full amp, and we've got, I mean, that's basically it. Lenny, sort of, but even then, we know that's sort of hybrid.
I mean, we are kind of seeing just a combination of the auto attack versus. Wait, time out. Can we go back to Tesca?
Wait, what's
Is
Tesca?
Is he a Carna one?
He is.
He's on Cardinal one.
Oh, but hold on. We have Homecoming meeting Averse over here in Hospital. Two of our, probably our strongest players at the moment. Averse doesn't have any kills, but guys, he absolutely rocked his group at the start. Oh, a beautiful jump in from Teska, canceling Magnus8's bike, but a nice stun to trade back. Honestly, Magnus8 might still be able to just walk away from this, no problem. Ooh, but Teska is playing Jackie, who has amazing mobility. Might be hard, but Magnus8 has plenty of walls to stun against if he manages to play this right here in Factory. Jump in from Teska. Will this actually turn into anything? I don't think it will. So let's check in on PM Howard. There's a fight between Homecoming and PM Howard, our two remaining Yuki players in this game. Howard dropping awfully low. Ashen is there, ready to third party. He wants to kill. He doesn't want to fight Homecoming. He just wants to get those extra points. Both of these players just trying to kill Howard just to get those free points.
Sally, he's not going to be able to take it. You just saw the crit come down from Homecoming. I wish anybody luck on killing Homecoming right now. He is easily the strongest player in this lobby by far, and not even close to the second place person right now. Like, who would you even say is like the second strongest person in this lobby right now?
Like, I don't see how this isn't Homecoming's game to lose at this point. Like, he is in such good shape. He has great items. He's got like a bunch of RNG stuff already going. Like, really, the only thing I'd be concerned about if I was Homecoming was potentially one of these Jackies scaling into the late game. Also, Mage8, you can't count him out. He doesn't have a lot of RNG items, but man, that Chiara, like, you know it's so good. You know it scales so well.
Yeah, and they're sitting on full build despite them not really fighting. Oh, we are going to see Teska and Celeste just fight that beautiful daggers coming down from Teska. Getting right behind the IW. The ultimate will drop, but Teska does have the rocket jacket, does have the mid shield, does have the ultimate pop. They have a ton of moves, but they're catching up very, very slowly.
Ooh,
the
Celeste.
ultimate reactivation is going to come down any second now. This is going to spell the doom for Celeste. It is over for him.
Celeste does end up falling there. We have Ironic being chased into the red by Lenny and a cast of characters. Oh, interestingly enough, Averse coming here to third party against Lenny versus Ironic. Lenny doing quite a bit of damage, but Averse also, I mean, he is definitely one you don't want to like take lightly. Averse can just kill you if you're not quite prepared for it. Lenny playing very dangerously. If he gets one good stun though, that could mean good things for him. But no, he's gonna end up just backing up. He knows this is not a fight he necessarily wants to take. ShowX is fighting wolves. That's not a fight.
It's a fight if you think about it. I don't know, that's kind of low.
It's kind of a fight. It's a mastery game.
Those are level 16 wolves. I mean, look at that.
That's true. The zone's about to close too. He might be bleeding some timer here. Plus, Averse is just sort of waiting outside of the exit. Like, he knows that this might potentially be a catch if he catches ShowX coming in out of the red. But no, looks like he's gonna get in for free. But he is gonna lose some timer. ShowX going down to 19 seconds before getting back in.
I do think I love right now about this lobby is that we're seeing some really interesting builds slash characters just in this top 9. Oh,
he just pulled that out of a box.
This Magnus is going to be impossible to kill.
Magnus8 just ripped a Queen of Hearts out of a gold box that dropped over here in Pond. That is a massive pickup for Magnus8.
And for those unaware, Queen of Hearts, what it gives you is an absolute ton of CDR, defense, and flat HP regen. And this Magnus already has HP regen and a ton of defense and cooldown reduction. They are capped out at this point.
That's true.
You don't want to kill this Magnus? Good luck.
Yeah, plus, like, keep in mind, there is also that lifesteal component on the Uchiwa. So you have a little bit of lifesteal, you have great CDR, you have, like, dude, you don't even have to build CDR just to have, like, a Queen of Hearts practically cap you out. So he is capped on CDR between his Tactical Ops helmet and his Queen of Hearts. Like, this is really good shape for Magnus8 right now, even if he has no kills.
Though. He is definitely, he's stuck between Lenny and I do believe that's Ironic on the side of him right now. And we're seeing another Jackie enter Temple right now. So any fight taken is going to be, we're going to see some rats come out really fast if anyone decides to fight here.
Yeah, we do have all of our Jackie, oh no, so one of our Jackie players just teleported away. It's either Teska or ShowX. I think it was ShowX. But yeah, we have Ironic, we have Averse, we have 4 players all meeting here in Temple despite not needing to be here right now.
But yeah, one of the points I wanted to point out earlier, I do love the interesting build styles we're seeing. We are seeing Ironic on the very standard. Oh no, never mind. Ironic, speaking of event, he wants to go in. He does not want to be bonked around. But Magnus8 knows his limits quite well and is not going to try to face tech with Frag Garage. Pretty much full build, red shoes, mid helm, Jackie. This Jackie is going to be probably the most dangerous person in that final circle, minus Homecoming.
That is one heck of a build right now. Also, over here in Pond, we have Homecoming chasing down Ashen, our 2 players with the highest mastery currently in this lobby. Homecoming is clearly winning this fight. Ashen completely on the back foot. He just wants to run. Homecoming is going deep into the red to get this kill. Remember, guys, they added a bit of a change where you get some of your timer back if you get a kill. So with that, Ashen goes down to Homecoming. Homecoming gets a bunch of timer back, but he is still bleeding out timer as he is trying to greed loot here against Ashen. They'll be coming back into the zone with about 15 to 14 seconds left. Honestly, that's a great kill for Homecoming.
But look at the transition here. He was sitting on a chest piece and some shoes a second ago. Now, well, he's on full-on Mithril. Full-on Mithril, Auto,
crap.
and Levitated. This man is There's not a single amp user here. Who's gonna kill him? Averse is the only person.
He has 236 defense. Are you kidding me? How does this man die?
The only way he could possibly die here is 2 Averse and Averse alone. Averse would have to be the hero to kill Homecoming, but every single other person here is an auto attack. Good luck.
Technically, though, guys, keep in mind, remember, Mage8 does have true damage attached to that ultimate reactivation. Chiara, between like a lot of good spell damage on the E and the extra true damage on the R reactivation, that could be I don't know, potentially what you need to finish off Homecoming. But man, unless he gets 2v1'd, he has smart bombs. Why is he putting down smart bombs against bears? What is Homecoming doing?
I can only imagine he's doing this because he has more than one set. Ashen is a very ethical gamer. I don't think
true.
Homecoming made it himself.
Ooh, a good parry against Lenny to try and absorb some of that damage that would probably coming down. Lenny, known for building a lot of traps, even if they're not the most amazing traps. Oh, that does connect! Lenny drops to the Homecoming. Oh my god, 5 kills Homecoming. What?
Lenny got little.
I'm actually losing my mind watching Homecoming play this game right now. There's no way that ult connected. I have no idea how that ult connected, but it did.
Oh wait, we're seeing Magnus and Averse.
Yeah, Averse
ulting out of zone.
Yeah, Magnus8 taking a ton of damage from Averse. He is forced to ult out, but Averse has sniffed out his location. Oh, misses the Q, misses the W with a good stun. Magnus8 could actually just get away from this, but there are a ton of players underneath him ready to third party at any moment. If I'm Magnus8, I would be very scared at the moment because you're about to walk into anybody and potentially die. Also, we have a fight between Tezca and Shoix. Both these players managed to just get out nonetheless. Although all the traps get... Wait, what? The traps that Lenny put down before he died got the kill on a Magnus8. Does it do those points go to Lenny?
Different. I mean, I would imagine what it is.
I assume they do.
The scoreboard doesn't lie.
That's something else, man. I don't know how to even think about that. That's insane. Like,
I was fuming if I was poor Homecoming there. He's like, okay, this kill's mine. It's gonna be a beautiful lot. Fire trap comes off.
Yeah, like, so okay. The thing I don't understand is, did Lenny get a kill before that? Like, is that one kill that's noted right now, is that the kill against Magnus8? I'm not sure for our scorekeepers. You guys are gonna have to figure that out. I believe that should go to Lenny though, personally, even though it is a posthumous death. Okay, our final zone is Pond. What do you want to tell me about Pond? Oh, although we do have a fight between Ironic and Mage8 over here.
Ironic and Mage is going in. Ironic is dropping the dagger skill right away, but we are going to see what you mentioned earlier is Chiara's kiting capabilities is A1, even against one of the best people in the game with catching up, especially late game when you have all the abilities. And we're seeing a second fight of Homecoming and Tezca. Homecoming, I don't know why people keep trying to fight him. People keep forgetting that he is not weak. Oh, he wasted the jump too.
Oh no, but the bear aggro, that is super relevant because the stun from the bear does end up hitting Homecoming. But man, Tezca is having so much trouble getting away here. He's gonna be forced to run into Temple, but I don't think... Yeah, I guess he just gets away there. Homecoming doesn't want to necessarily chase into more red zone because it is gonna turn soon. He knows that Tezca's gonna have to come back through there at some point.
But yeah, Pond is an interesting zone. So what we do know about Pond is that it is very congested. You only have 2 ways of going in, and sadly, when the zone's closing off, the only way to get back around, unless you're Averse who could jump over the bridge, you have to walk through the red zone.
Yeah.
And it is never a fun time. Whoever takes control of that zone is going to be the person to dominate the game.
So keep in mind, the final square will always be around the console right here. That means that if you do want to get to this side of the map, you do have to funnel through this tiny, tiny, tiny little choke point. It's pretty miserable. Oh, we have a fight between Averse and Shoix. Shoix is dropping so low, forced to go into the red. He doesn't have a ton of timer left. Remember, we caught him farming over there in archery, losing a ton of red zone time. Averse knows that Shoix is stuck out here. Shoix is gonna have to come in with just 5 seconds left, but Mage8 is right behind a third party. This might give Shoix the chance he needed to get back in. Remember, he is on two-handed sword, so he has that parry available. Goes for the ultimate. Goes against the Verse because he knows that Verse's ult is down right now. But guys, remember, Mage8 is right there, waiting in the wings, waiting to be the third party to win this fight. The double guillotine, locking Verse in place. Verse, he hits the double guillotine. Although a beautiful W does catch the rapier skill on Mage8, Shox will use this opportunity to run into the zone. Now, Verse is caught in a bad situation where the ultimate reactivation from Chiara could spell his death. Remember, Shox, again, aware of this, is going to third party. Ironic is also here to third party as well. Verse forced back into the red zone. I think Verse gets away here.
Shox tried to get the rat kill off, but he couldn't get off. Verse barely had his E up. He wanted the extra time, and he wanted the points, but he couldn't get it. Mage8 is still staying around. Shox is going to have this engage here. He no longer has his ultimate, but Shox had no right surviving there. Mage8 let him live.
I'm amazed that all of these players ended up surviving there. We have Tezca trying to just hide in this little corner. Nobody is over on the bridge. Everyone's going to have to funnel through there in the next like 30 seconds or so. Mage8 identifying really this. He's going to be the first one. They're homecoming, actually. No, they're all staying. What is happening?
Oh, this is about to turn into a brawl. The first person to start is going to be the first one to die. You need to wait really patient here.
20 seconds left. All of these players have to funnel through this choke point soon, guys. Keep in mind, Verse, he can go over this wall right here, which is what he's heading to do right now. Also, players, you can go around this side too, which is a more risky way of getting into the zone because it's going to cost you some red zone time. Verse, he hops over the wall.
Huge. Homecoming has control of the zone here. We know he has smart bombs.
Okay, our Jackies are all funneling over. Ironic, down to just 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Oh my god, how is Ironic alive right now? Ironic in a lot of trouble. How do you possibly cast this fight right now? There's so much happening. Ironic falls. Homecoming chasing Verse into the red. Verse falls to Homecoming. We have the reactivation from Mage8 onto Shox. We're down to our final 3 competitors in this final zone. Mage8, Tezca, and Homecoming. Homecoming is resting in the red. Tezca? Mage8? I mean, Mage8's in great shape. He has a bunch of fire traps set down. Now Tezca is caught between these two players. The root from Mage8 does end up landing. He is rooted in place for quite a long time. 10 seconds on his timer. His ultimate is still ticking, so there's no way for him to possibly rest. Tezca drops to Mage8. It's just Homecoming versus Mage8 at this point. But guys, Homecoming, he has the smart bombs. That's a ton of damage going on to Mage8. Homecoming parries, parries the root. A ton of damage. Homecoming is, and the missed E from Mage8. Mage8's gonna have to be forced into the red to try and rest, but no, Homecoming says, no, you cannot rest. I will chase you down. I will be winning game number 1. Homecoming, he's still full HP, and Mage8 has basically nothing left to fight with. Is this how it ends?
He's just waiting. He's just waiting. He just had nothing to go with. He doesn't have an ultimate for a while. It's up in like 2 seconds. The ultimate is back up now, but I don't think he has the SP to use it.
He's so
you can see it on
mana.
the UI.
The ultimate comes out.
Coming out.
But then again, there goes Homecoming's ultimate. And that's going to be it. Homecoming takes game number 1.
What? It's crazy.
He had 3 more mithril.
Oh my god. He had a full... that was a full RNG build by the end of that, by the way.
Dude, he
Every
had...
single item.
Oh my god.
I have never seen a more stacked Yuki in my life. That is so terrifying. You know that Homecoming he's popping off right now. 7 kill win, mastery 20, every RNG item possible, best in slot, everything. He is, man, Homecoming's happy right now. That is gonna be hard for the other contestants to come back to, but we still have 4 games.
Yo, so this is a 5-game series. It's not 3 like the qualifier group stages was. So, man, that is a really, really strong start, but that doesn't mean that he necessarily wins the whole thing because anyone can have a pop-off game from here on out. Like, absolutely insane though. Guys, game number 1 has just concluded. In first place, we had Homecoming running a full RNG, beautiful, like almost best in slot, perfect Yuki build with a 7-kill pop-off game. He had all the right fights. He took all the right chases. He just played so well. In second place, we had Mage8. Very consistent, very strong Chiara player. You know, racking up 3 kills, which is the second most kills of this game. He got the Queen of Hearts off of Magnus8, which was really, like, that is such a nice pickup to get late game, especially off of somebody who you probably are threatened by. Like Magnus8, if he had survived to that final square, would have completely changed the entire environment there. But anyways, Mage8 did very well. Second place with 3 kills, and in third place we had Tezca with the Karnwennen, but also a lot of mithril pieces with just 1 kill. Nicely done to our top 3. Also, I do want to give a special shout out of all people to Blem, who may have ended up in 16th place, but he had 2 kills. He even eliminated Xiaosei very early in game 1. One of the biggest names coming into this tournament. Yeah, that was an amazing game. What do you think?
Man, these people are playing absolutely out of mind. And I think we're seeing a big discrepancy in two different types of playstyles right now. We are seeing the very aggressive players, and we are definitely seeing more of the placement players. People like Mage8, people like Tesca, with more of the placement builds, just trying to take it very slow and steady, trying to rack up as high as possible, and maybe get those 1 or 2 games where they really pop off. But man, this game was absolutely crazy. And Homecoming is looking pretty nice going into these next few games.
Yeah, I'm definitely, if if there's anyone you should really be focusing on for the rest of the tournament, it is absolutely Homecoming. Guys, keep your eyes on Homecoming, but don't count out any of these players. Anybody has the possibility to come back and just honestly just win the entire thing. Anyways, let's get started on game number 2. We're gonna set up the lobby right now. Sit tight, guys. We'll be right back.
Man, we're just seeing the chat right now. Chat clearly has their favorites.
Honestly, okay, hang on. Let me make sure we're all good to go. We're getting the lobby set up right now, guys. We're almost ready to go on to game number 2. Chat, who do you want to win? I know we're on a 1 minute delay, but chat, who do you want to win? Honestly, I'm kind of a big Homecoming fan. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a big Homecoming fan?
Look,
I
I have to be a big Homecoming fan, or else he's not gonna put me in his Pokemon Nuzlocke. And you know,
killed me.
Kill me off at some point.
Look, I was having a good run, and I don't know why he wanted to kill Tim Wizard off. I don't know how I died, but we haven't talked about it, but I'm just a little hurt.
It's kind of like I don't know. You feel a little bit like a neglected child when you die as one of his Pokemon. It's like, why don't you take better care of me, you know? Why me?
You could have popped the paper potion. Like, you could have just swapped me out. It could have been one of the Rattatas. It didn't have to be me, man. But I digress. For me, I'm going to... I have to give my vouch for Howard. I love seeing anything Howard related. Howard has... I just like my Joker cards. I like my random people. I feel like Howard's probably not going to be on Yuki again. We're probably going to see him whip something else. I was like, okay, it didn't work. I'm not even going to try again. Just next game. Let's go.
So, something I kind of didn't even notice was who or where was Wick? Like, where was Wick in that game? Wick died to somebody, and I have no idea who got Wick.
Oh, when Ashen was being chased onto Avenue, Homecoming had Wick.
Oh, so Homecoming ended up... Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense, because Homecoming was in, like, fantastic shape that entire game. But yeah,
who's
interesting.
Gonna test him? God wasn't part of this match, so Homecoming won it.
Well...
Yeah, I thought strong he was.
Honestly... As far as other players, I really am kind of cheering for. I want to see really good things out of... I'm very biased. I think everybody in this chat knows I'm very biased. As a CCeles player, I'm rooting for Deus. I want Deus to do well. Unfortunately, I'm sad that he's on crit throw because I find that build very boring. But you know what? I'm a Deus stan because he's playing Sissela. He's the only Sissela player in this lobby. Also, I want to see Elite Miko bring that same fire that we saw from them in the qualifiers. We saw it like honestly perfect game sense out of them, perfect third-party game sense, all sorts of amazing stuff. Like I really want to see them bring that same energy.
I'm really curious. I'm very biased for the characters. Sadly, our favorite businessman did not make it into here. We don't have any of those, but we do have the Hyunwoo. So I have to give a slight vouch for Lenny here. He's not a character people really look up to right now. He's not the strongest environments, but Lenny is sticking to his guns here, and he didn't have a performance last game. I'm curious to see if you can take one of these games. Maybe, I don't know. How was one of the brackets looking like?
I thought Lenny did really well on his bracket stage. Like, he was very consistent. He did everything correct. Also, one more person, I know we mentioned them earlier, but guys, Xiaosei, I'm serious. Xiaosei is an absolute monster if he doesn't get shut down before he finishes his weapon, so I want to see good things out of Xiaosei going forward. I would be very surprised if Xiaosei didn't just end up actually clean sweeping the rest of the tournament and winning the entire thing, but we'll see. Guys, it's time for game number 2. We have everybody in the lobby. It's time to get started. Who is our... it's Xiaosei is the host. It's time to go.
It's funny, one of the things you mentioned earlier was the solo sweaty customs that happened the other night, and when we were playing in those, you would notice a complete trend of Xiaosei killed, Saojie killed, and people didn't realize you probably shouldn't go to his areas. You should probably just leave him alone. Yeah, he's gonna kill you.
I think that's probably one thing he wasn't expecting, was he had gained so much respect in those in-houses. He knew that, like, anybody who came to mess with him died. But here's the thing, he had enough players contesting his early zones in the first tournament match that he wasn't able to go quite as fast as he normally does. And then he ended up getting caught by, like, since he had such a slow start, he ended up getting caught by Blem over in Chapel, which I think completely surprised him, because Blem, I don't think, was playing in those in-houses, so that really wasn't a factor he was preparing for. But in any case, guys, we're getting started on game 2. Wait a minute. Blem has already switched to Silvia. He is not on Heart anymore. And Celeste? Celeste is playing Aya, right?
He was on Aya, yes, but I was more surprised to see him on Aya, considering he's a Silvia player.
He is a Silvia player. Like, I was very surprised. I think he probably had labbed something. He had a plan, and it just sort of didn't come together. Like, it seemed strong at first, but he ended up getting knocked out by... Blem?
Wait, timeout. Teska's on. Oh my god, no, Teska. Teska's gonna grief.
Wait, what's Teska on?
He's on Hyunwoo. I don't think I should spoil, but can we just click on him for 2 seconds?
Sure, let's check out what Teska's doing. Tonfa.
Oh god,
what?
He's doing it. No.
Is this this like Amp Tonfa?
I'll give you some context. Yesterday, I told Ashiant to give me a code for a build, and he gave me Enad Tonfa Hyun. So, that's all you need to know. I've been seeing Teska for the last 2 days on ladder using it.
Interesting, but is it actually good?
Okay, it didn't feel that bad. I'll be quite honest. It was really funny.
Okay, well,
he's nuts about it for a reason.
So okay, hold on. Spoil me. What's the weapon choice though? Is it Mysog? Is it tactical Tonfa? Please don't tell me it's tactical Tonfa.
Yeah, it's tactical Tonfa.
It's tactical. Okay, that's pretty
yeah,
tactical.
the best Tonfa. I'm excited because you're not gonna go Mysog. That's placement builds. But tactical Tonfa, that has raw energy. You could feel the soul in that weapon.
It's up to like what 75, 80 attack power or something like that. It's like they've been buffing it like every patch for the past like 6 patches.
The thing is, you just don't expect it. You know, when you get Plasma Tonfa, you're like, you know what? That's some good early damage. Tactical Tonfa, that hits you. You're like, okay, I gotta get out of here. But you are so squishy. If he's going the exact build I think he is, you're going to be so squishy that good luck. But enough about this, the most interesting build probably in here by far. But I also noticed another change. We have Alex. He does have
he has it.
Alexich did swap off. Okay.
Okay.
I think Homecoming's getting 18th. I think we're safe so far.
Oh, I just realized Howard's on Incendiary Grenade Adriana. Ooh, I like that.
It's a very good early snowball build. It has potential to pick up some really early kills. It's a build that I've been spamming a lot of, and I absolutely love it. I think it's probably one of the best Adriana builds by far. It's such a fast build. You do have to do some janky things like contesting every tree, but you have the power behind it to pretty much always secure it.
Oh my god, he really is just going like Enad or something. This is so cool. Like I really want to see this come together. So like, yeah, tactical Tonfa, it has really good stats now. Like, unfortunately, it's still a Tonfa, but it has 75 attack power, 25% lifesteal, and some defense. Like, those are not bad stat lines at all.
Could you guess his chest piece?
Oh god, let me see what he's wearing. Crusaders? It's gotta be Crusaders, right?
It's Crusaders.
It's Crusaders. Okay, good. Also a Gojin too. I like it. Howard ended up dropping over here in Hotel against Celeste. We were talking about that Incendiary Grenade build. It ended up not paying off. Teska getting chased down by Blem. No! We wanted to see more of that, but it didn't end up happening. Whoa! What a fat crit coming out of Homecoming. Alexich, struggling to finish his build, does end up dropping to the Plasma Sword crit Homecoming build that we have so far on Yuki. Xiaosei in a lot of trouble against Homecoming. Beautiful ultimate from Homecoming. Xiaosei falling early once again over here in game number 2. Ashton in trouble against Mage8. All these players decided to wait until this exact moment to all start fighting each other. Ashton drops very low against Mage8, but it will not be a kill in favor of Mage8. They just walk away. But can we talk about what Homecoming just pulled off? Wait, what were you about to say?
What was his RNG on that? Did he just get like, he did like 3 autos, 3 crits?
He had the most blessed RNG I've ever seen. He is also Homecoming, so like he has some of the best RNG of anyone I've ever known. Either way, the fact that he did like 300 damage in 1 auto attack against Alexich, that was like a third of his HP in 1 auto. Also, Xiaosei, he missed the close range Q, and I think at that point he knew his fate was sealed, and he died to Homecoming as well. That's 2 early kills picked up by Homecoming, and I'm pretty sure whenever Homecoming kills Xiaosei, he actually absorbs all of his luck. Xiaosei also one of our very high RNG role players, so you know what? Feeling good about Homecoming again in this game as well.
Yeah, I'm genuinely kind of shocked he didn't just roll 2 mithrils or a blood off those bears. It might be a little bit of a low roll game for him, but I'm sure he'll get there. Miko on the other hand, wow, Homecoming's looking quite strong. Miko looks like they're scrapping parts together to try and get their build online. And Iron Nick having to run away over at Pawn. Silvia is such a scary character. Yeah,
Blem had actually caught Ironic there for a second, but having missed the jump back over the wall, yeah, I don't think that was going to be a kill. That was going to go for him. Ironic, once again, getting away from a fight. I think that's all I've seen Ironic do, besides, like, Ironic was pretty strong there at the end of game number 1, but they spent all of game number 1 just getting away from people. Which is sort of just the Jackie gameplay. Like, that's just what you do. Is you just sort of, you run away, you escape until suddenly you can just win. Homecoming versus Blem, a fight over here in Dock. Homecoming actually dropping pretty low. He's low on mana, and that's going to be a big issue against Blem. A character you can't really run from very much, but he is deciding to just commit back. He has that mastery advantage. The missed E from Blem is actually going to give Homecoming the chance to just get away. Homecoming did a lot of damage.
Yeah, but we need to be careful here because we do have a Shoix in the background, but Ashley is fighting Celeste over in Alley right now, and we're kind of seeing a similar situation. Does whiff the E, does have a little bit of fuel to the name right now. We might see him try to bike up here. Oh no! What? Lenny in the background.
Why did Lenny
holding
not...
up to the E?
Oh! He gets the stun! Ashen dropping the Celeste there. I was gonna say the absolute patience on Lenny that entire time. I was wondering why he didn't just dash early, but he ended up connecting that beautiful stun. Well done by him. Blem actually falling over here to Homecoming in Dock. Now Shoix is in trouble. Shoix jumping over the wall, getting away as Jackie does seem to do. Blem, one of the biggest threats to Homecoming right now, will end up falling. He's already got 1 mithril. He's getting started. What is happening?
What is going on here?
What is happening with Lenny? Lenny is a player known for making a ton of early traps, but my god, it is so funny to see it all come down this early in the game.
Well, sadly, I don't think those traps are going to be much use at all. Nobody's looking at the soundbites anytime soon. Everybody decided to dock this game in Homecoming and said, hey, thank you for visiting me. I'm going to take your life now. He's 3 for 3 in dock kills.
Dude, Homecoming. I can't say it enough. Like, I don't want to just focus on one player, but there is only just one player wiping both lobbies so far. Homecoming is doing absolutely, like, he's doing so much work. He's doing so well.
Which is kind of surprising. Not that he's doing good, but more surprising that somebody like a Verse has been very passive these last 2 games.
That's actually very true.
He's normally the player, and we saw it in Group A, just kind of going in, but he's noise, he goes in. But he might be stuck in a pretty bad situation here. There is a lot of people here, about a 3rd and 4th party. Seeing Shoix coming with the ultimate, hopping on Ghost Electricity. It looks like, no, beautiful fear in the last moment. But Homecoming's now going to be the person in the middle. He finally has some leeway to get away here. But Shoix does need to get out. He's very squishy. He is stuck in those chakrams, and he is gonna drop.
Honestly, of all the players, of those 4 players who all converged on that one moment, I'm shocked that it is in fact Shoix that dies there. I thought Ghost Electricity for sure was going to fall at least to the Jackie bleed, but it just didn't end up happening. Also, Yeah, Shoex, honestly, he played that really well at first, but then it ended up falling apart when all the focus started to turn towards him. We have a fight between Elite Miko Miko and DeusXM. Ooh, Elite Miko Miko has been struggling so much to finish their build this game. Honestly, they kind of fell early last game too, so we aren't seeing that insane pressure that we saw from them in the qualifier stage. DeusXM, they do have decent chase if they can chain slows with that passive. That range is quite good for keeping like constant slow chains going, but I don't think it's actually going to end up amounting to anything. Celeste catching Mage8 over here in school.
Celeste is low on fuel here, and I don't particularly think we're going to see Mage8 fall here. We are going to see Chiara do what Chiara does best, which is just kind of walk away. And if Celeste does get a little overzealous here, we know that Chiara has insane turn potential, probably the best in the game. Even if they are a bit low on items, that true damage coming from the ultimates and the lifesteal you get from it is going to, well, good luck trying to break through it.
Yeah, honestly, it's really hard to end up catching onto a Chiara. Yeah, I'm going to try and turn you up just a little bit more. 1 second.
Oh, I do apologize. I got a little low there.
Let me see if I can turn you up at all on my end. No, you're maxed out. Okay, if you just get closer. Yeah, you're okay.
All right.
You're not too far away.
Do a quick stretch the neck. All right, we're good.
Dude, Elite Miko Miko, I am very stressed. If I'm an Elite Miko Miko stan, I am very stressed because Elite Miko Miko has no mana anymore. Keep in mind, this is a character that does not have mana costs in their skills. Oh, a verse catching Crone as he goes to check that bush, but unfortunately, the root does not land, and a verse is not able to convert that into a kill.
Yeah, man, I just feel bad. Oh no. Well, I don't think we're gonna see Elite Miko Miko really be put on too much pressure here, but Averse is somebody who just goes for any kills. Celeste dropping Ghost Electricity. The man did have a Death Wish not too long ago, and looks like someone finally claimed it in. But Miko Miko did get to slow line onto him, but this is gonna be really hard for Averse to chase. I do think we might see an ultimate and East drop really soon from Averse because he's catching up. Wait, I think he hot swapped over to the Mavericks. He's really fast right now.
Yeah, he's on Mavericks right now. He is hot swapping to try and get closer and closer. He goes for the ER combo, but honestly, he kind of picked the wrong angle. Verse is not able to convert that into a kill, but now, guys, Celeste is just waiting in the wings, probably with that console vision, catches Elite Miko Miko over here. The slow wall comes down. Now, the bite combo is sure to follow. Nice. Oh, although, unfortunately for Celeste, Elite Miko Miko does jump over the wall and right into Homecoming. Oh, misses the ult just barely.
But now Homecoming is the one that's going to be on a bit of a defensive position here. Celeste is going to be trying to take advantage of this as much as possible, really putting in that pressure. Right now, Homecoming is looking to be a little bit on the favorable side. There's nobody in contention from right now. Celeste does land the E on the dog here, does get a little bit of fuel to continue to chase, and I think he knows if he wants to win this tournament right now, Homecoming does need a drop. But Homecoming is playing Yuki, one of the best characters in the game at running away, but Lenny dropping super low.
That was a beautiful, it's a beautiful combination of things from both players. The pendulum axe from Lenny did give him the distance he needed to get away. Lenny's trap game is absolutely insane. Dude's got so many pendulum axes at all stages of the game. That gives him the distance he needed, but also there was some very beautiful footwork from Crone, getting, like, he did like the E reactivation to get the barely, like, hitting him tip Q that slowed down Lenny there. Honestly, both players played that very well, but Lenny did end up getting away. Now, Wick is completely uncontested, and no one is currently going for it, although if Lenny and Crone manage to keep going over here, they are going to catch the trail of Wick and maybe notice that Wick is here. Also, if both these players end up fighting too much in Temple, it wouldn't surprise me if Mage8 ends up getting it for free. No, Mage8 teleporting away. It actually might be Celeste getting Wick for free now.
Oh my goodness, I didn't realize Celeste is Celeste is so strong.
Mage8 just TP'd into Temple, and now Crone is fighting Mage8, but that means that Wick is maybe going to Celeste for free?
I think we're starting to see the potential of the Chiara turn here, but Mage8 doesn't look like to be taking very much, only taking for 30s right now. And Celeste, yeah, where is Wick right now? Wick missing about a quarter health here, and Celeste actually is on the Electron Blaster. So unlike the Elegance build, they can throw down the auto attacks, have a lot of consistent damage here. Yep, and I don't think Celeste is worried in this life while it's getting stolen. It's just his.
Now we have this fight that seems to just never end. Lenny is being chased by Crone. The Q slow coming out, that is a massive slow coming out of Crone. Lenny is just doing his best to get away. He seems to be out of, yep, he was out of options. He was out of pendulum axes. And in the end, Lenny will fall to Crone, giving Crone the mastery lead that he needed, that he kind of lacked in the last few games. Crone already up to 12 mastery, the second most? No, sorry, tied for the third most mastery in the lobby right now. Magnus8 biking away from what I can only assume is a ton of pressure coming from DeusXM.
Man, it's so crazy to see the difference in like about like 2 weeks. About 2 weeks ago, we were seeing Spear Fiora everywhere. Now it's just Rapier and only Rapier. But Ironnick is trying to get away from Reverse. He does drop the dagger skill, and Reverse really is just trying. Oh, beautiful E over the wall. This is gonna drop the Q all combo. Hit him with the chocolate. Does miss the W. Ironnick popping the ultimate and then trying to get the screen. Oh no!
Ironic lives.
Barely. Wait a second.
Wait a second.
He might get a TP off. He will get a TP off.
Okay, he did. So the reason why we were like sort of pausing there for a second is that if Jackie's ult reactivates, which is something you cannot control, it's on a timer, it will cancel your TP, and you could potentially lose a ton more timer and even die if you're TPing in the red zone. But no, Ironic does get away, doing what Jackie does best and just getting out of any fight.
But now we're just kind of seeing a Mage8.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Ironic getting stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Wait, that goes to Deus.
Deus does end up taking that kill. We're seeing Homecoming assembling the Mithril Exodia once again. He's got the Mithril armor done. He's got the Mithril boots done, but he is only on a Hovid, not a Leviathan in this game. He also is still on a Crystal Tiara and a Creed of the Night. He only has a little bit of a crit chance to go with this Creed, so maybe he's looking to pivot off of this as soon as he can. Ooh, Crone actually fell to Celeste. It looks like it was a fight between Mage8, Celeste, and Crone, and it looked like Crone ended up falling there in the end. Now, Deus being caught by Homecoming over here on Beach. Once again, guys, this is one of the hardest matchups for CCeles, though. That being said, Homecoming has thrown down the parry already, so that is no longer a tool available for him to block one of those pulls. We have a big fight like everywhere on the map right now. Anyone could drop at any second, but it looks like Deus, yeah, Deus is in a lot of trouble, but a good pull is going to give him a lot of the distance that he needed to potentially get away. Magnus8 is fighting a verse over in Temple along with Mage8. Honestly, every single player left in the game is currently in a fight right now. Celeste dropping a verse, a beautiful pull from DeusXM is going to give him a shield and a little bit of distance to get away from Homecoming, but my god, this is one of the hardest things in the world to run from.
This is such a sad fight. This is literally ring around the rosy right now. Deus is just buying his time, just waiting. Either waiting out Homecoming's patience or waiting out for every other player in the lobby to die right now, because he just refuses to drop. In combination with the food and in combination with his passive, and the fact that Homecoming has no healing reduction in his kit right now, Deus is just, oh my god, this is so silly to watch.
Holy, this is just never gonna end,
he just won't die. It's a fight that never ends.
A dash in from Homecoming. Okay, a beautiful parry does manage to block the pull that time, but he did unfortunately parry into a wall, so it didn't really make much difference anyways. Deus has healed quite a bit now. Homecoming should actually be considering the fact that, oh, he's awfully low, but he drops the ultimate. DeusXM, after what feels like the longest fight of all time, does end up falling to Homecoming.
That fight wasn't even a clip long. That fight's a whole stream right there.
That was a whole journey. That was something else.
But now we are in top 4 situation. We have actually a different character for everybody. Everybody right now that is in top 4, I think aside from Mage8, is looking really strong right now. No, I am talking when I don't know a single thing. Celeste on Mastery 18, Mage8 on 11, and Magnus8 on 10. Those two have not fought a soul. And you thought Homecoming was strong. Celeste has 6 kills under his belt. Wait a second. This man hasn't been hyped up enough. I'm sorry. When did he get 6 kills? I thought he was sitting on 2 or 3, not 6 here. Celeste
has been very consistently playing this entire game. He's been chasing kills early. He's been chasing kills in the mid game. He got the Wick buff. It feels like every time there's been a 3-person fight in an area and Celeste is involved, Celeste seems to secure the kill pretty much every single time. So I'm not too surprised to see Celeste with such high mastery, but my god, that the 6 kills combined with the 33 farm, which is the most farm currently in the lobby. Guys, keep in mind, Homecoming only has 13 farm compared to Celeste's 33. So honestly, this doesn't surprise me pretty much at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much of a surprise. I mean, Celeste is, I mean, he's probably a player slept on. You probably play, you kind of know him in the community, but you don't think of him as like this super top tier competitive player. But this man is actually insane. Like, you're going to be seeing a lot of him today. You're going to probably see a lot of him in the squad tournament, I would imagine. He is just such a good player. And you can see his macro game is immaculate. He is over here just, look. And you're going to see a third game sense. He is waiting on the off brink just while Homecoming and Magnus8 just got a few hits on each other.
God, look at that damage.
That Wick lead is so brutal.
Yeah, oof, man, I do not want to be Magnus8 right now. You're caught between Homecoming and Celeste, and you're forced to just sit in this corner. If anyone comes over here to fight him, like, oof, he's gonna go down. But I think all these players are identifying that there are no teleporters nearby, and they all need to funnel through this one tight little area over to Temple, as Temple is our final zone of this match.
This is looking, if I am Mage8 or Magnus8 right now, especially if I'm Mag, oh no, he will get the W. Celeste is going to go in for rotation. Magnus8 needs to, set up a little bit of time here so he get the bike away. And now we're going to see the bike race off of the sentry. Hopefully Magnus8 has the jukes right now because he needs to get away from Celeste. But it looks like Celeste is going to drop the chase pretty early. But I do think we're probably seeing the same thing right now. Magnus8 is running into a homecoming and he is currently at half HP with no ultimate.
So the thing I noticed is that Celeste went to check this bush and then checked the south side. He thought that maybe Magnus8 was going to go deeper into the red to try and just get away, thinking that would be the safest way to go, but no, actually Magnus8 just went the kind of the obvious path, which Celeste sort of mind gamed himself into expecting the wrong location. So Magnus8 does end up getting away, and honestly just happens to path around Homecoming. I guess Homecoming was making a little bit of noise, so he knew that he knew that Homecoming would be there. Yeah, Magnus8 gets into the final zone basically for free. Also, something to notice, Celeste is kind of deep in the red right now and has only 30 seconds to get to Temple, but they can use the teleporter in Avenue if it does come to it.
Yeah, no, everybody, man, this is going to be really risky. Unlike Pawn Final Zone that we saw last game, Temple Final Zone is a lot safer, to say the least. You're not stuck in one congested area to try to get to. You have multiple different angles. You can hit it from every angle. You do have the stairway where you can sit up a little bit, if you have to come into the zone, probably a tad bit later. But it doesn't matter how many angles you have if you're not very strong. And right now, we're just seeing two very strong players and two very weak players in this final zone coming up.
I do want to point something out. Oh, I guess we're about to get into a fight here. I was going to point something out, but forget that. We have Homecoming dashing onto Mage8 with Celeste not too far behind. A fight comes out. Mage8 drops the ultimate, takes a ton of damage from Homecoming's ultimate, losing about half of his HP just from the ultimate reactivation, but Celeste is here at third party. The combo. Celeste ends up picking up the kill on Mage8. Now it's Homecoming versus Celeste. We have Magnus8 coming in from the side to third party. These are the final three players of this lobby. And honestly, everyone's dropping low except for Magnus8. Celeste drops to Magnus8. Now it's Homecoming versus Magnus8. Remember though, there is this fire trap here. Homecoming using this as an opportunity to turn back and get some damage in. If Homecoming just disengages and just manages to heal back up to full, I honestly have to give this to Homecoming so far, but it could go either way. Oh, more fire traps. I was expecting smart bombs, but you know what? Fire traps technically do damage too. Homecoming doing his best to heal up while he can. He has the mastery advantage. He has the level advantage. A missed stun from Magnus8 could potentially be the pressure that Homecoming needs to end up winning this final fight.
It's looking really, really scary. Magnus8 just really not going to be any way from the finish him off without that bike damage. But sadly, he is on an auto attack variant build. And you want to go on a man who currently has 223 defense. Those auto attacks aren't doing much.
Keep in mind, Homecoming's ult just came back up. Magnus8's bike is still down, but not for very long. Looks like Homecoming is just going to try and loot these two players over here because honestly, I don't think anyone managed to get anything off of their bodies. So who knows? This could be a huge advantage if Homecoming gets more stuff that he needs. He's trying to swap off this Creed, I'm fairly sure, as well. He picks up the Queen of Hearts. Keep in mind, he has a Creed with no crit chance. Oh, a nice stun from Magnus8. Keep in mind, the zone's about to close down to just that final box, and Homecoming is just sort of greed looting over here with only 8 seconds left. He has to get across this bridge with Magnus8 standing at the end. A beautiful stun. Okay, he did manage to switch off. He's on, wait, what? No, he switched from a Creed to a Creed. That's not an upgrade.
It's an interesting type of swap. We're going to see the fire trap drop. The double guillotines are down early from Magnus8. So wait, I don't believe the Homecoming actually knows these traps are here. He did run away earlier while Magnus8 did set these up. These do have plenty of time, and now he does have that bike up. That bike is going to do a ton of damage. Oh no, this is going to guarantee a stun for him. He needs to play this very, very slowly. He is still weaker than Homecoming, but that base damage from his abilities are going to carry him through this. Those auto attacks are not going to do a whole lot, but he's starting to get some auto attacks down. Ooh, the bat skill does whiff.
Homecoming is trying his best to get any sort of pressure in here, but he just can't find a way in. Oh, he manages to, okay, auto and Q just to clear out that double guillotine, but Magnus8, he has a telephoto camera in the bush. One of the most powerful places to have a camera at this point because it lets him see every single trap that Homecoming puts down. Ooh, both of these players are just trying to find the space and the distance that they need. Homecoming engages right now. Honestly, that was a really good poke damage. Magnus8 and Homecoming, they're finally at about the same amount of HP. Another good combo from Homecoming will drop Magnus8 down to below Homecoming's HP levels. Keep in mind, Magnus8 has way more on his timer than Homecoming right now. So if Magnus8 manages to stall it out, he does win just to timers.
I do believe that is his game plan, and that's why we keep seeing him play so passively here.
Homecoming
Because, again,
low
he
on mana, but it may not matter. One more auto attack from Homecoming might seal the deal here. Magnus8 tries to bike in to do something, but it's not going to be enough. Magnus8 using his timer to his advantage to try and get some more space. He's just trying to stall out Homecoming.
30 seconds. He just needs to be 1 second above. That is all he needs right now.
Another stun.
We're seeing the issue. Homecoming doesn't have any SP. He's having to base regen this, and he can't rest in the final zone anymore. And right now, he can now use his abilities. All Magnus8 needs is a little bit of health and just 1 more second more than Homecoming right now. And I do believe actually Homecoming might be slightly ahead at this point.
Yeah, I think
parry will drop.
there it is.
And that Magnus8 accepting his fate.
In the end, he played that so beautifully. He was like I want to like go back and just analyze that fight over and over and over. Both of these players perfectly dancing around each other, playing with expectations of timers, playing with expectations of traps, the camera in the bush from Magnus8, and just the perfect poking in, stunning, backing up, everyone understanding that you can no longer rest in the final zone. Homecoming having no mana, like everything about that fight was so perfect from both players. GG to both of our top 2, and honestly to our top 3 as well, because Celeste popped off as well. But in any case, Homecoming in first place once again with 5 kills. In second place, we had Magnus8 with 1 kill. And in third place, we have Celeste with 7 kills. Absolutely insane game from Celeste, showing exactly why everyone knows him for his Silvia play. Also, I do want to give, honestly, outside of our top 3, we didn't have a lot of kills, but I do want to give a shout out to ERBS, Crone, and Blem, who all managed to get kills outside, oh sorry, and DeusXM as well, who all managed to get kills outside of our top 3.
Man, this is looking pretty good here for Homecoming, man. I know we keep hyping him up, but it's with good reason. This man has taken 2 games with a 7-kill win and a 5-kill win back to back. He still does have 3 games to go. He could easily place 8 teams the same way he plays first. Any of these players could take these games, but man, right now he's showing an insanely dominant performance on that Yuki.
Yeah, GG guys. Let's get started on game number 3. Keep in mind, this is a 5-game series. We're also going to check in on the scores between our games. So guys, just sit tight. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are almost ready to go into game 3, but before we get started, I want to go over the score sheet. I want to see where these players are currently standing points-wise. Let me turn down the lobby music real quick. You guys excited? You guys want to see where our current players are? I don't know. I'm not sure who our rank 1 player is. It's a mystery to me. It could be anyone, right?
It could be anyone. I'm pretty sure it's probably Shoix, right?
I think it. I'm starting to think maybe Alexich might still be in first. It's hard to tell. But guys, in any case, let's check it out. Currently in first place, we have Homecoming. This should come as no surprise to anybody so far. He is, man, he's in first place with a dominating lead of 80 points. In second place, we have Celeste with 37.5 points. And in third place, we currently have Mage8 with 30.5 points. But guys, remember, it's not just who's in the top 3, it's actually who's in the top 5, because our current prize pool of $1,000 for this tournament does in fact pay out to 5th place. So in 4th place, we have Mage8, who's been very consistent, who's been very good, at 20.5 points, and in 5th we have DeusXM with 17 points. But guys, not that many players too far behind him. Remember, ERBS is only 1 point away from the prizing right now at 16 points, and of course Tezca is close too. I feel like anybody still has the chance to break into prizing with just one decent performance, because so far, honestly, all of these games have been like a few players really popping off and everyone else sort of just getting farmed.
Yeah, we are seeing, man, like the discrepancy between the top 5 performers and everybody else right now is really massive. But again, this is the type of game and the type of environment where anybody can really just pick up a ton of kills and win the game. I think we're probably going to see a change of strategy moving forward. I don't think we're going to see as many people try to contest Homecoming and Doc anymore. Homecoming really just pick up that one kill early on and just snowballing it so hard. He's killing another crit user and just grabbing all the materials he can possibly ever need. So I think we might see a slight change of strategy moving forward. I mean, like, Xiaoze being 18th right now, something that doesn't sit right in my head.
Yeah, Xiaoze, again, like, I know you've been hyping up this guy, and he kind of has been dying early each game, but man, Xiaoze is by far one of the strongest competitors in this game, and we haven't seen the same sort of performance that we've been expecting out of him. So honestly, I really would not be surprised if the rest of these games, the final 3 games of this tournament series, just ended up being Xiaoze completely wiping the floor with all of the all of his competitors. But that being said, I don't even know if that's enough to dethrone Homecoming. He has 2 wins with very high kills. Very good performance so far from Homecoming.
Yeah, he's playing out of his mind. But at the end of the day, you know, 3 games, somebody could do it right back and maybe even take it on top of it. I know it's wishful thinking, but the beautiful storyline is always there. There is always potential for any of these contestants. They are all insane players to try and take it back.
Well, guys, it is about time to get into game number 3. I hope you guys are all excited, because I am as well. Let's get it going.
Okay, cool. So I know we're off stream now. Could you send the email to Nimble Neuron to like take off the create multiplier on Yuki? Or
yeah. I'm gonna make sure the Nimble Neuron is gonna nerf Yuki soon. Thank you for the reminder. Good. I'm also going to be sending the paychecks to everybody in the tournament. Thank you for letting Homecoming win this. You guys are doing great.
Man, how did he get 10 grand to pay everybody in this tournament? Dude, that BMW sale really been great.
He's paying 10 grand in order to win 1 grand. I don't think the math really checks out. Maybe it's just a reputation thing. I don't know. Okay, let's get back to the actual stream. I'm gonna unmute myself now. Hey guys, welcome back. Oh shoot! Hey, I think we weren't muted that whole time.
Wait, what happened? Oh god. Well, we're back into the game. Ignore all of that. None of that. That was all just, we were just having a good time there.
Delete the record. All right, guys, it's game 3. Legitimately, though, it is anybody's game to still win this whole thing. We are not even halfway through this entire tournament, so anyone could still end up sweeping the entire thing.
I did miss in our tomfoolery. What did we see that was interesting? Oh, looks like the stream just caught up. So we are seeing not any much of change. Oh, good. Oh my goodness, Tezca is doing it again. Oh my god.
So okay. So Tezca, we saw this last game. We saw that Tezca was bringing out tactical Tonfa. We saw that honestly, I was surprised we've been seeing so many or so few Silvias. We didn't see a Silvia in the first game at all. It wasn't until the second game that we saw a Silvia. We saw Celeste pop off so hard with that Silvia pick. So I'm surprised that we are dropping down from 2 Silvias down to 1. Like, Silvia is so good right now. Why are we... What are we doing here? Why are we losing Silvias? We should be gaining Silvias.
I don't understand. I feel like that character does have a bit of a learning curve. She is easily one of the harder characters in the game to learn and master. And I think a lot of these players that we're seeing here, they're just on their comfort picks. They've been on since day one. I look at most of the players in this game, I'm like, yeah, Shoix is a Jackie player. Howard now on lead island. Oh, now I think we might see Howard is unchained. Now we're going to finally see him on his previous tournament character. I mean, you know this a lot more than I do because you played in those tournaments with him.
Wait, hold
Tell
on.
us a little bit about our...
He is on Lead Island. What on earth?
Tell us a little bit about our favorite drunk.
Okay, so Lead Island drives me crazy. This character is so mobile. It has so much burst damage with that ultimate. It has like some of the best escapes, some of the best engages, basically everything you could want. But Lead Island, here's the thing, PM Howard was known originally for his Lead Island play. He eventually stopped playing her because she was considered so broken that Howard was actually frustrated that people were just accrediting his success to his character pick. So he ended up switching off of Dylan for so long, said he'd never go back. He gave up Dylan despite being his favorite character, but here he is. He's back on Dylan once again.
Yeah, we have seen him talk about it time and time again that he doesn't actually like being on the character because it doesn't feel fair to him, and he doesn't like her in the current state of the game where it's just a lot of farming and hoping for those RNG items, mainly the mithril pieces for the Imperial Silk Gloves, and really just farming for glove skill level 2, which, if you guys don't know, glove skill level 2 is easily the best skill in the game. It will take half of your health by far. You run into it like, okay, this has been fun. Why did that kill me?
Ooh, Ashen bringing out a spicy new build. Lance of Poseidon is not a weapon we've been seeing much of lately. It looks like Mage8 is sort of seeing what that could do, but no, Mage8 gets away in the end. Ashen, though, like, did you expect Lance of Poseidon coming out of Ashen?
No, not at all. I don't actually know the route for that off the top of my head. Did you imagine that's a routing thing? You think his routes were contested, or you think he's trying to pick up maybe some more early kills to try and pick up some more points for himself?
It might be a routing thing. I can't really say for sure. I'm not exactly an expert on current day Lance of Poseidon builds. Again, it's really not something you see a lot nowadays, so I am a little surprised. Also, guys, keep in mind, Blem, he ended up switching back to Satisfaction. He was on Silvia in game number 2, but I think he found maybe more success with that early game Satisfaction in the first game, so he switched back. PM Howard, playing Frost Petal Dylan, motorcycle helmet plus straitjacket sneakers. He might just be going for somewhat full amp. However, Celeste plus Blem might spell doom for PM Howard. He tries to ult over the wall to get away, but no, the ult connects with Celeste. Howard in a lot of trouble right now. Celeste chasing as best he can. He gets back on the bike. Guys, keep in mind, Silvia has some of the best chase in the entire game. I don't know if Howard can hide away. He hides, he stands still, but Celeste manages to catch him nonetheless. I like that plan. Yeah, I like that plan of hiding to hide his footsteps, but I think he just still walks away from this. Somewhere else on the map, Ashen ended up falling to Magnusape. Honestly, I'm surprised to see a Lance of Poseidon take so much damage and end up falling against a Magnus this early in the game, but he ended up doing it.
Well, we did mention pretty early on in the first game that Magnus, what we do know, Magnus's early damage is easily one of the highest in the game by far. You run into Magnus, especially now we do see it is nighttime. While we can see a lot, our contestants have very, very reduced vision. So when you walk into a Magnus and he has the wall set up, you're probably dead. That's
absolutely true. Also, something interesting that I know.
Oh my goodness,
I am so sick of this. So, Homecoming, I swear, back when we were doing the in-houses last night, Xiaosei would walk out of dock with a auto arms 99% of the time. What is it about dock bears and dropping force cores? I don't understand it. Homecoming, right here at the start of game number 3, a player who has been dominating the previous 2 matches has already picked up an early game auto arms. He is in incredibly good shape item-wise, and I wouldn't be surprised if he managed to use that to snowball the rest of the game. You also have 4 players over in Factory, which could turn into a fight if anyone looks at each other funny. Ooh. How do you feel about this fight?
Okay, so we are seeing Lenny with his Infinite Fire Trap, but you could have all the fire traps in the universe, but the last thing you ever want to do is take on a Jackie in a consistent 1v1. But we are seeing Celeste and Alexich having a little scuffle over this bear at the beach, but Alex doesn't look like you want to be taking this fight. I wouldn't want to be fighting a Sheaf, Electron Blaster, and Imperial Crown Celeste. Oh my goodness, wait, everyone having to fight all at once. Deus Emblem taking the fight, and now we're gonna see the reset, the fight, and this commentary, guys.
So, Crone is coming in from the side. Blem is dropping awfully low, but guys, with the ultimate reset on the fight, that does give Blem the opportunity he needs to get away, but he's low on mana. Crone is right behind him. He doesn't have any mana to actually just like dash away from this and chain slows. I think he's drinking like water bottles or something. He doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. If I'm Blem, I am very unhappy with my current situation. Blem ends up falling to DeusXM, and now Crone is actually in a lot of trouble.
But the one thing that CCeles does have a bit of an issue with is that chase.
Yeah.
And after the repeated nerfs to her speed on her Q and E, I'm pretty sure Crone is going to be just a-okay running away. I mean, Fiora Dash is the same, but we are seeing a fight on the map between Shoix and who else? He was dropping quite low.
It might have been Homecoming. I'm not entirely sure. But man, Homecoming takes the tree for free. I guess Shoix was trying to get it, I'm guessing, to make a blazing dress, but no, Homecoming, he doesn't want to mess with Homecoming right now. Homecoming gets the tree. Elite Miko dropping very low against Crone over here in Hospital. Elite Miko is a player who we saw very good things out of in the group stages, but has been struggling to finish their builds over here in the finals. Once again, on just a few items done at the moment. I am very stressed if I am an Elite Miko fan right now.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see the difference of just like being able to be on a character who could reroute so efficiently. One issue that Lida Lin's had for such a long time, they are stuck in the same zones. Love is sadly stuck in the same zones, and if you are contested, you're gonna have a hard time putting that build together, especially since you're on a character and build that wants so many gemstones. Ooh, ERBS is on the aggression here, and we're gonna see E-drop does whip the Q. Crone, ooh, beautiful movement coming out for Crone. ERBS will try to space it out, and Crone will walk away.
Yeah, Crone's kind of perfectly dodged all of that. Like, I think ERBS was sort of expecting Crone to just keep running away, and he kind of put all of his skills expecting that sort of movement. But no, Crone actually said, hey, I'm not really that scared of you. I'll jump back and do what I can. Lenny, with very low mana, but doing a lot of damage to Celeste, might actually get the pain turned back on them as Celeste pulls off a beautiful combo. Lenny dropping incredibly low. Lenny will fall to Celeste, who already has Boots of Hermes done. Now, that fight that we saw earlier, it did conclude. ERBS manages to catch up to Crone and get the kill. Crone ends up falling pretty early in game number 3 as well. Shoix is actually in trouble right now. Hold on, where is he? Shoix being potentially chased by that Enad Tonfa. Ooh, okay, but the missed dash from Tesca is going to give Shoix the opportunity to jump right in. The slow. The auto pressure from Shoix is dealing a lot of damage to Tesca. He clears up the bat, but honestly, he's kind of content not, kind of not forcing the issue here. Tesca kind of just gets to walk away for free.
Yeah, Shoix, since he doesn't have that W up anymore, he's in a zone that's very tight, and one stun could spell the Doom for him, and oh my god, he's on Levitine as well. Homecoming is literally just living in Dock, and is easily the happiest Yuki in the world right now. Everybody is going to respect him, and we are definitely seeing that respect being paid for this game. He's had 2 crazy games just come out of Dock alone, and everybody's just actually just respecting at this point. Xiaoze and Celeste having a nice little fight here.
Ooh, so I'm noticing now that Xiaoze is switching back to pistol since he is sort of getting forced out of Dock by Homecoming at the moment. We have a huge fight over here in Temple between DeusXM, Alexich, and ERBS. Deus ends up falling. Alexich is in a lot of trouble, but guys, they're fighting in the red zone right now. They're all bleeding timer for free. A nice root lands from Alexich, and also the fear trades back from ERBS. ERBS is just down to about 10 seconds, and he's going to lose even more time as he tries to get back in. ERBS is down to just 7 seconds.
I know this doesn't look like a lot right now, but unless ERBS does pick up the skills, that is the only way to refresh that red zone timer. Otherwise, when it comes down to the very end of the game, he's gonna be in a pretty dangerous situation because you can't rest inside zone anymore. And a lot of times you do have to kite outside that zone. So that is a very, very dangerous position to put yourself in, especially knowing that these games will go long. These are not bad players. These are amazing players in these lobbies right now. And we are starting to see Homecoming. Homecoming dropping to half HP here. What's going on?
Farming bears.
Never mind. God.
Doing what he does best, which is staying in one zone and farming and clearing any tourists who stop by. Ooh, Tesca dropping awfully low to Celeste. Celeste is looking wonderful itemization-wise. Tesca in a lot of trouble here. Celeste will surely catch up. The bite combo comes out, dealing a lot of damage, but a nice stun back from Tesca will potentially give him the distance he needs. But that long-range E does connect from Celeste. Celeste has really beautiful E connects. Also, Tesca, I don't know. The bike fuel is running awfully low, but the stun combo comes in. But a nice, beautiful jump over the wall is gonna catch Tesca on the back foot. Tesca reflects the E from Celeste, but it's not gonna be enough. Tesca ends up falling to Celeste.
Oh my goodness. Poor Tesca trying to bring the spiciest build to this tournament by far, but sadly it is not going to be enough. Spicy sadly does not mean it is very effective, especially in this type of setting. But we are starting to see the Jackies do what they do best, which is run away. But look at Mage8 right now. This Jackie had E and W out. But no, we are going to see ERBS skill into the E. W coming out. CCeles is going to be forced into Cemetery here, and they will start walking over to Hospital.
Yeah, so I had to check in on Ali because there were 4 players all getting rather close to each other. It looks like CCeles did end up just getting away from Mage8 there in Factory. Again, I can't say this enough. Jackie doing what Jackie does best, which is getting away from basically every single fight. But yeah, in the end, Jackie gets away. Now we have a fight over here in Alley, finally breaking out between Ironic, Averse, Ghost Electricity, and Magnasape. Both the Hedgens are throwing down their ultimates. You're seeing these omens circling around them right now. Averse has decided to choose Ghost Electricity as the person he wants to try and corner and kill. Ghost Electricity is sitting at about 75% HP. Averse missing most of his kills, but Ghost Electricity is dropping rather low. The wolves just respawned, so potentially these omens could be aggroing some very powerful wolves, so he ends up backing out. Guys, though, CCeles is not far away from this, ready to pounce on Averse as he goes through the wall, but Magnasape's not far away. If both these players drop too low, Magnasape could clear up. Oh,
Bike will drop down one catch on the end, but Magnasape is quite fast here.
Beautiful
Averse
dodge.
Doesn't have his blink up for a few more seconds. He could get the stun here. This could spot the end for Averse. Just, yep, there goes the Averse will drop in 10th place there. Ghost Electricity barely walking away with their life, and CCeles, well, sadly didn't pick up the kill this time around. Magnasape with the second kill of the game.
Magnasape, I have to, like, I honestly have to tip my hat to Magnasape. Magnasape has been playing exceptionally well throughout this entire series. Like, I feel like every game, I don't think anyone was really expecting him to be one of our top finishers right now, but he has just been doing so well in every game we've seen him in. Ironic, with a very nice stealth fake out to try and get some pressure off of him to get away from Mage8, but Mage8 sniffs out the stealth, kind of can tell which way he's going, and ends up chasing him, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, Ironic gets away.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this plays out here, because we are just seeing these people dance around each other. Of course, Wickline's on the map. Has Homecoming left Doc this game?
No, I'm pretty sure Homecoming, I don't think he quite Ironic does end up falling to Mage8. Ooh, okay, I'm surprised that a Chiara was able to actually track down and finally kill a mithrilled out, Dagger Jackie. Seems unlikely. Alexich and Mage8 are gonna meet each other, but I think they're just gonna run away. I wanna see what Homecoming's doing, because now all of our players are starting to gravitate towards Wick. Homecoming is not willing to commit onto this fight, because he's pretty sure that people are gonna come third party him. Oh. But he gets to pick it up. Guys, if you're playing Yuki, if you want to know how to secure a late game Wick, you have to use your ultimate for it, because that is a huge amount of burst. It kills her very quickly, and it gives no one else the chance to potentially like steal it out from underneath your nose. God, look at that build. It's absurd.
Nobody's trying to contest him at the slightest. He's just, like you mentioned earlier, just picking up lots of Taurus, but so has been Celeste. Celeste picking off anybody that wants to even near his sight line. He sees noise, he's chasing after it, and I believe he's probably like, what, on 4 kills this game right now? I believe Homecoming and Celeste are just competing each other.
Celeste is on 3, and Homecoming's actually on 0. Weirdly enough. Like, he is doing so well, but he is on 0 kills. Okay, we have Celeste spiking in, trying to select his target, either Ghost Electricity or CCeles. Keep in mind, whoever he engages on, the other person nearby could third party, so it is not necessarily the right thing to do to take an engagement around another player. Okay.
What else do we have going on that map? I think one person we haven't seen anything from this game is really Zhao Zhe. Oh, but it doesn't even matter right now, because Ghost Electricity is going to get engaged on from Celeste. Ghost Electricity does get the root down, but needs to get that fear. Yeah, will pop the ultimate to get the fear off, but again, like you mentioned earlier, Silvia is one of those characters. But no, Magnasape said, no, I'm going to go for you. Let me fire out some mastery off of you. I know I can't kill you, but I can put you in an awkward position to maybe get killed. But Magnasape is still chasing Ghost Electricity here. He does have his ultimate up, still available to him, and really, all of us like, oh, beautiful Q coming down.
An absolutely beautiful snipe from Magnasape will be keeping Ghost Electricity sort of in his place. Oh, a nice bike. Oh, it did enough damage to kill him. Ghost Electricity does drop to Magnasape. Now Celeste is here at a third party. He doesn't want Magnasape to just, I don't know, I guess loot the body for free. A lot of pressure coming out from Celeste. The bike is activated. The chase is on. The bike combo does come out of Celeste, and it kind of whiffs a little bit. So Magnasape is able to just get away. I gotta say, Magnasape, before the tournament, I kind of found his rat type playstyle on Magnus sort of frustrating, but honestly, I'm a big fan right now. The way he's been playing these engagements, it's very confident, it's very powerful. I love the way Magnasape has been approaching this tournament.
Yeah, no, he plays things incredibly safe. I mean, he is definitely one of those players that does play very slow and calculated in the way he does things, but it's kind of just the way you have to play Magnus right now. Magnus doesn't have a lot of tools in his kit to catch up people, but ooh, this is looking a little scary. I think Xiaoze was looking for any Taurus, but the moment Yuki came in a little closer and he got a left click on his, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go the opposite way. This is a new Taurus location for you, but Homecoming does not know the definition of leaving dock yet, but he does have a new Taurus in his area in the form of Celeste, but Mage8 is in a fight right now with Magnus8.
Yeah, Magnus8 is already doing a ton of early damage to Mage8, unfortunately whiffing the stun there. The root will come down from Mage8. Yep, Magnus8 is locked in position for it a little bit, but guys, keep in mind, Magnus8 has quite a lot of movement speed. It's going to be hard for Mage8 to get away from this, although another root, another slow, the ult coming down from Mage8, knowing that he's in danger, Magnus8 just bikes away. The reactivation from Mage8 will not be enough to stop him as Mage8 opts to go for the red zone.
Man, Magnus8's movement on that bike was so good. Just navigating between the tree trunks, like it was nothing. You could tell this man has been playing Magnus for a very long time. He was so confident moving there. And again, the Chiara ultimate doesn't actually stop the bike. It doesn't put him in front. It puts him behind. But another Chiara. Oh no.
Magnus8 drops. Homecoming gets to pick up the kill for free. He gets a kill delivered to him on a silver platter after being chased by 2 Chiaras. Magnus8, well, he sort of ran out of second chances, and unfortunately he will be falling to Homecoming.
You see what happens when you leave dock? Good things happen.
Good things. Sometimes good things. Wow, look at that big burst damage onto Celeste. Homecoming. Oh, a nice bike over the wall. Actually, Celeste will pretty cleanly get away from that, but Homecoming showing that he is an absolute force to be reckoned with right now. Switching over to the Mithril Shield to chase Jackie. A very good hot swap, knowing that, honestly, Jackie's a character that's hard to necessarily catch up to, so by switching to that movement speed item instead of the auto arms, gives him a little bit better chase.
He's just being very patient with this. He knows that he cannot take the full-on engagement here, but he does know another thing that Yuki's really good at, besides chasing and running away, is that poke damage. He's really just a kiting melee. If you're trying to find another melee here, you just go in, you get that little bit of damage, and you get out. Does sadly whiff the ulti on Shox here. Shox should be able to get away here, I believe.
Yeah, I don't see how Shox wouldn't be able to get away unless he ran right into Mage8, in which case you'd be in a lot of trouble. Weirdly enough, this is not even the final zone, but our players are definitely trying to take this fight. Wow, Homecoming is so fast compared to Shox, even against a Jackie. With that Hermes boots, with that Mithril Shield, and of course the Chinese Opera Mask for the out-of-combat movement speed, it is really hard to run from Homecoming.
Yeah, Shox needs to get out of here. He's gonna be forced into the red, but he has nowhere to go from the red.
Oh no, Shox, no! Shox is in a lot of trouble right now. Keep in mind, Homecoming also has that wick buff still for another minute or so. Shox jumping over the wall. Unfortunately, this time it's right into Mage8, who pops the ultimate, pops the rapier skill. Now Shox will be falling to Mage8's ultimate reactivation. Unfortunately, caught between 2 of our most powerful players currently still in the lobby. Mage8, he throws the E over the wall, but it does not connect. And yeah, looks like Homecoming gets to loot Shox for free. Oh, now these players are finally engaging on each other.
This could be a mistake for Mage8. I mean, his ultimate should be up pretty soon because he did get the execution, meaning the cooldown was reduced quite a bit, and he is very tanky with that Mithril armor and the Mithril shield. And again, we are seeing what Chiara do what they do best, which is just kite away and really just wait for that ultimate timer to come up. Homecoming, while incredibly strong, he doesn't have a lot of health to his name. Like Chiara, oh my goodness, what is Alex doing?
So Alex, identifying that factory is the final zone, knowing that the final square will be right here in the center of factory around the console, he's put down a few traps. We have Mage8 teleporting in right next to Celeste and Alexich. Ooh, okay, an E coming out of Alex, catching Celeste immediately, putting some pressure onto Celeste, who's one of our most powerful players currently in the lobby. Celeste biking out, just trying to get away. Xiaoze has also been setting up a bit of a bush trap himself. Now, we have Alexich and Mage8 throwing some stuff back and forth, but it's not going to really amount to anything. So basically what's so interesting about this is that traps durations have been reduced. Oh, actually, hold that thought, Homecoming. Eating a lot of damage from Xiaoze. But yeah, anyway, as I was about to say was, trap duration has been reduced by quite a lot, but if Alexich is willing to throw down some traps this early, he just wants control of this bush. He understands that maybe people are going to try and contest it. It's one of the most powerful positions in this final square because it does have a little bit of bush in the final square. If he has these traps, he probably has even more to hold on to for later on when the zone ends up closing.
Yeah, this is going to be looking really, really scary moving forward because one thing that we do know is that Xiaozhe really hasn't done a whole lot this game. He's kind of just been farming up and he's been left to his own tool. And ISIL on a final circle is going to be absolutely terrifying with those traps. We can expect smart bombs, remote mines, double guillotines, claymores, all of the above to just be dropped down from Xiaozhe. If he is not dropped early, especially with that ISIL passive, he's someone you're going to need to get onto now. And Alex, you can tell, like you mentioned earlier, he's just waiting. He's waiting to get awake that minute. He doesn't want to take a fight. Nobody here wants to take a fight because you know everybody in the game is currently here.
Hold on. Can I just point something out? We have all four of our 5 players left here have Hermes boots right now. That's 5 players who have managed to secure a force core throughout this game. Boots of Hermes, probably the best shoes in the game at the moment. They give you a ton of defense. They give you a ton of mobility. So all of our players are really tanky right now. That means traps are going to be very powerful because, traps do true damage. So it doesn't matter how much defense you have if you're just getting all that damage reduced to nothing.
Oh no, Homecoming taking a really risky play. Engage onto Alexich Chiara. Does end up stepping on the ISO mine. Had to drop the parry earlier, but the Homecoming will drop the ult, will whiff, and Alexich is going to go for the kill here. Homecoming needs to run away, but again, Chiara so good at chasing, has the Queen of Hearts to their name as well. Yeah, Homecoming is going to be forced to the red and take a quick sit down right in the red zone. That's going to hurt him come to the final zone. And
my God, Xiaozhe is saying nobody's in the final square. Okay, guess I'll put down all of my traps. He probably has even more to his name that he's just holding on to for right now. Keep in mind, ISIL is the only character who can place traps in combat as fast as he can. Everyone else has to do the full 0.7 deploy time, whereas ISIL can basically put them down instantly. So, Xiaozhe in a very good position. Oh my God, Homecoming is just eating all these traps. He is going to get the E from Alexich with a nice parry to negate that root. He's going to go back out and try and get some timer, but oh my Lord, he is down to just 2 seconds. The reactivation from Alexich will spell doom for Homecoming as he drops in 5th place. Now we have our 2 Chiaras on the left side doing basically no damage to each other as Xiaozhe does a ton of damage to Alexich with traps. Looks like Alexich will end up going down to Mage8 with that ultimate reactivation. That also means that Mage8's ultimate will probably be back up before this fight concludes. Xiaozhe forced into the red to try and get some space, try and get some healing in. He's almost out of mana, and it looks like he has no way of curing that.
Yeah, he might actually finally be out of traps in his arsenal right now.
I think if he had more, he would have put him. Oh, no, he has a double guillotine.
There, that's more.
Ooh, Xiaozhe. No. Instant reactivation from Mage8 to secure the kill for himself. We're just down to Celeste versus Mage8, but keep in mind, Mage8's ultimate is down right now. It is just Celeste versus Mage8, and Mage8's kind of out of tools. The double guillotine from Xiaozhe does end up actually hitting Mage8. Now Mage8 is forced into the red, but Celeste has no timer to chase, whereas Mage8 has plenty of timer to rest up. He has 18 seconds on his timer, but Celeste picking up double guillotines off of Xiaozhe's body, that's a huge advantage for Celeste.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to count around, especially with PR ulti. Did get the reactivation. It's gonna drop down, and this is gonna look very scary for Mage8. They are still really low, even despite the ultimate. Celeste is on the auto attack build, so the auto attacks are gonna do a ton of damage. He's gonna go in with the bike combo on the wild dog.
The dog is doing so much damage. Double guillotines coming out from Celeste. Guys, that dog is a bunch of free damage on a Mage8. That double guillotine lands. The combo comes out of Celeste, and Celeste closes out game number 3. What an amazing final zone between our 5 players. Like every second of that was just absolutely amazing. Every player playing out of their minds. Congratulations, guys. GG on game number 3. Let's see where we are in the scoring. In first place. Oh, go ahead.
I think the thing that we saw that showed up there was Xiaozhe really deciding that final zone single-handedly, having a full inventory of C4's double guillotines to his name, and just, man, you saw how devastating that was to the first person to walk into the zone, which sadly had to be Homecoming.
In first place, we had Celeste with 4 kills. In second place, we had Mage8 with also 4 kills. In third place, we had Xiaozhe with 0 kills, but despite that number, he honestly did extremely well for himself. And in fourth place, we had Alexich with 3 kills. And of course, Homecoming, he only had 5th place 1 kill, but I felt like he did so much better. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Mage8, who ended up picking up 3 kills despite his 7th place placement. So I gotta say, like, the way did Xiaozhe win that final zone for Celeste? Is that what happened there? Did you Celeste picks up double guillotines off of Xiaoze's body. The double guillotine left over by Xiaozhe on the map also gets hit by Mage8. I feel like that is a situation where I think Celeste still had a good chance of actually winning that final 1v1 against Mage8, but I really think that Xiaose's, you know, his trap game, bringing all that into that final square, actually just won it for Celeste.
Yeah, I do believe that Celeste probably could have taken the game without those traps, but he didn't have any timer to kite out the Chiara ulti. He would have been stuck inside the zone, having to face second Chiara the entire time, which is really, really scary. But since traps are true damage, and double guillotines being one of the best traps in the game, you could definitely tell that the difference, whether or not he had traps or there, it is going to be absolutely massive.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I have to say, despite... like, dude, every single game so far has come down to an absolute, like, heartbreaking, depending on who you're rooting for, but also just, like, I'm on the edge of my seat in literally every single final zone. These games have been absolutely amazing so far, and I can't wait to see what we have in Game 4 and Game 5. We're over past the halfway point of this tournament. It doesn't mean that anyone is necessarily out of the running, but we do have some clear frontrunners in terms of points. And we're gonna get that score sheet for you in just a moment. I have to first post the code for our competitors, and then we can get right into the scores.
It's really interesting because we mentioned this earlier. You said that, you know, Homecoming's potential to be dethroned is very, very slim, but our Silvia player, that I don't get why nobody's just playing Silvia right now. Celeste is showing such a dominant performance, securing, I believe, a top 5 in the last game with a titles, and then securing a first place this game with 4. He's gonna be really close to Homecoming real soon.
Yeah, honestly, like, I am blown away by the fact that we're seeing basically no Celestes. Sorry, not Celestes, Silvias. It's hard to not associate Silvia with Celeste at this point because he is doing such a good job on Silvia. I'm surprised we're not seeing more Silvias in general. I think Silvia is just a complete powerhouse, and yeah,
she's so crazy.
We're seeing that in these games too.
People sleep on Silvia. Nobody knows how strong Silvia is because it is a character that you do need to put a lot of time in. And well, Celeste just being a great player that he is, and he's put, man, I have talked to that man since I believe Silvia's release, and he's just so passionate about that character. And when I saw him on IO the first game, I was like, no, this is a mistake. You know this is a mistake. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Hold on one second, guys. We're getting some things sorted out, and then we'll get right into the scores and then game number 4. We'll be right back.
Yo, chat, can we get a kiss a homie in the chat? Or... I know you'll see this in a minute, but just like...
Okay, so actually we're doing some quick sort of behind the scenes tournament stuff to make sure the scoring is set up, because we currently only have the scoring set up for 3 games. So we're gonna have to get that set up, and then we can show you guys the scores. But in the meantime, let's talk about our competitors. Let's talk about our players and see what we have going on. Okay, Tom, who is the dark horse right now?
Ooh, man. I want to ask you, who do you think first? I gotta bounce this off on you.
I've been saying this the whole day. I still think Xiaose still has a lot to show us. I think Xiaose is a very powerful player. Also, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ashen maybe come up with something huge. Shox is also very consistent. I can't even call Magnus8 a dark horse at this point. Magnus8 is showing how good he is.
Yeah, it feels so weird because right before I ended my stream to come over here, I was hyping up Ashen so much. I'm like, Ashen is this insane player. You guys probably don't know, like, his tournament record is like immaculate. This man, he plays VR in any meta game and he will absolutely crush you. And it's just, I'm in shock right now to see what's happening, but you never know. We do still have 2 games, and Fiora is a character that can pick up a ton of kills. For me, my dark horse is going to have to be, I'm gonna have to say a Verse, honestly.
Really?
A Verse just really not showing that performance that we saw in the first bracket. We know he's an insane player. We know he's a person who's really just defined Hasian of recent time, to the point where I think we're all kind of sick and tired of dealing with Hasian, but he's just not getting the opportunity to get those tourists over in force and just end their career. So, Ali, those tourists are going to Homecoming. They're coming to Doc.
It's true. I do think we're going to see some good things out of a Verse in these last 2 games, assuming he has managed to keep sort of his wits about him. He hasn't been too frustrated by the current results. We'll see how he ends up playing. But in any case, guys, we have the scores updated. They are ready to show you. And here they are. Currently, in first place, we have Homecoming, once again, with 91.5 points. Wait, oh, hold on. Never mind, this is apparently not correct. Give me 1 second, guys.
Sorry, some technical difficulties here, guys. Skaz didn't want to show you the final score sheet. He already added up the points for Homecoming. He doesn't want to spoil the Homecoming one.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
The 10 grand that he gave everybody earlier.
Yeah, sorry. I was also included in on that 10 grand that Homecoming was giving out. Man, I was supposed to get paid off, but I guess it didn't happen. Okay. We have updated scoring. We have a different sheet. Here we go. Guys, currently in first place, we have Homecoming once again with 91.5 points. In second place, we have Celeste with 69.5 points. And in third place, we have Mage8 with 56.5 points. Now, once again, guys, the pricing does pay out to the top 5. So, in fourth, we have 34.5 points going to Mage8, one of our best players, most consistent players so far in the tournament. And of course, in fifth place, Alexich with 23 points. But it's still anyone's game. It is still anyone's opportunity to break into pricing. I guess it's time to go on to game number 4. You excited, Tom?
Oh man, you know I'm excited. Right now, we are still seeing the very similar situation since Homecoming did have such a dominant performance in the first 2 games and having a great performance in the third game as well. He's still just 30 points ahead of our second place player here. So right now, this really does feel like a battle between Homecoming and Celeste. But again, anything can happen. Players can change up their game plan here. Like we're seeing right away, PM Howard said, I don't want to be on Dial-In anymore. I'm tired. I'm going back to Adriana. Homecoming sticking to his guns, staying on Yuki, and Celeste is going to stay on the Silvia. This is really going to be a battle of the Titans right now, of whether or not these two can come out on top. But Mage8 isn't that far from Celeste either. He could also have the pop-off game to really just bring him up to number 1.
Yeah, I think regardless of anything, this is going to be an insane game. These are the, I would say, like, if you don't have a nice point advantage going into game 5, you're in trouble. So I think game number 4 is going to be the sort of last-ditch effort for anyone who is not currently in pricing to try and push themselves safely into that pricing cutoff point. I'm expecting big things out of Homecoming if he wants to maintain his first place lead. I'm expecting big things out of Celeste as he is trying his best to become first place in the tournament. Of course, we have a lot of other consistent and powerful players, and I look forward to seeing what they bring. Okay, once again, we only have one Silvia. It's still just Celeste on Silvia. Have we seen any other major changes? I'm seeing kind of similar things. PM Howard on Adriana, that's... I feel like we've seen him on a different character every single game, although he did play Adriana once, I think. But he is back to Adriana.
I think he's just having kind of a bit of a character identity issue right now. Despite being an amazing player, he is just kind of dropping a bit early. But one thing I do want to bring up is the fact that Celeste is uncontested, if you haven't noticed. There is no other pistol user in this lobby. It's just him.
Wait,
that
okay.
Electron Blaster is easy.
Hold on. Hold on, we have to talk about Teska real quick. I know we were gonna talk about like all these normal, reasonable builds. Obviously, Ghost Electricity and Averse are fighting to quickly build their Scorch Bow before the other one finishes it, but who cares about that? Teska is playing Shuriken Hedgen. What is happening?
I'm sad I need to explain this. So, last patch, guys. Shuriken Hedgen does take 10% less damage across the board. I ran into Teska on ladder playing this build, and well, the best way to put this is Radagen.
Yes!
Radagen is 100% pure tank. It is going to... You can't kill her. If you think you're going to kill her, you're wrong. She will run away from you. She will CC you. Yep, it's going to that Fuma Shuriken. You're going to see some very interesting gameplay. And the moment you see Hedgen throw out cow traps, no, I assure you, it is not a bug. That is actually the active of Shuriken.
Basically, this character weapon combination has been probably consistently the weakest since its release. But at this point, they're up to, oh, you can't see it right there, but they're up to 110% damage dealt and 90% damage taken. That means they're really hard to kill, combined with this very slippery kit. You play a weapon that has a ton of CDR built into it, and it makes you basically impossible to kill. So Teska's just opting to play for placement here. Elite Miko is finding Blem over here in Chapel. So is Shousei, but guys, remember, Blem with the finish satisfaction is an absolute monster here. Even Teska, a character who is on a character that we think like shouldn't be able to die, could potentially die to Blem if they're not careful. Blem is very powerful at the moment and is basically just trying to track down any kills he can get.
Yeah, Blem is the strongest person on the map for the next probably like 30 seconds or so. He is going to be near impossible to kill, and Heart's early damage is absurd, especially on that ENAP build.
Ooh.
But there is no Chapel Taurus this time around. Ooh,
Oh.
Dave's walking in, but it looks like Blem will
Blem.
not catch him.
Blem accidentally giving up the freest kill of his life, and Dace getting a safe travel into Chapel, who is currently in one of the probably the riskiest situations, only having a white weapon. Most players right now... Wait, what? What? Magnus, what's going on? Why don't you have a weapon? Okay, he's finishing the torch. Okay, that's what I figured. There is the Statue of Soteria craft does end up crafting it crafts your base weapon into something that is not a weapon. So there is a point where you just won't have a weapon equipped, and that's what we saw right there. But he's going up to that Statue of Soteria, which is basically what we expected out of him. Overall, our players are looking pretty good, except for Days.
Very interesting. Celeste not on Electron Blaster. He's on Magnum Boa.
Yeah, I saw him starting over there in archery range, so he is opting for a different build this time. It's still a good build. That's one of the best things about Silvia at the moment, is that Silvia's builds are actually... There's a lot of build path variations that are very safe. Like, you can do Electron Blaster in a variety of ways. You can do Magnum Boa in, well, basically one way, but it's very consistent. It's very uncontested. And honestly, it doesn't require leather, which is really nice.
It is the nicest part about Pistol, but the one thing we are going to see here is Silvia's early game prowess is going to show once again. Alex is going to try and turn this, but I just don't see a world where Alex is going to have anywhere near enough damage to contest Celeste here. And Celeste is just going to start chasing down a beautiful sidestep, getting out of the E. Celeste does have to fuel chases, but I think he's going to opt, knowing he's making a ton of noise.
That was a ton of damage coming out of Lenny. The Haymaker, almost fully charged coming out of Lenny, does end up dealing a lot of damage to Ironic, but Ironic just sort of walks away. I don't think Lenny had any sort of follow-up to close out that kill. God, Deus has had the most trouble finishing his build, but it seems like he's finally finishing his weapon right here after most players have been finished for quite a while. Like, we have players like Crone, a player who has been very strong in their group stage, finishing their build very early. I mean, like, sure, the leather arm shield's not done, the key pal's not done, but man, that's basically 6 items right there. Elite Miko, without the weapon finished, is in a lot of trouble as they walk right into Crone. The ultimate to try and escape does not come out in time, and Elite Miko, unfortunately, will be falling right at the beginning of game number 4.
That is such a painful way to go down. But speaking of painful, Celeste is trying to put down the pain, but Howard is not weak in the slightest. He is sitting on pretty much full build. He is a pretty wise player. He has been here for a long time. He does know one thing. While Adriana's early damage is very extreme, Silvia is such a hard character to really break through. Like, he definitely had the items over him. I'm actually genuinely surprised that he even tried to contest that.
I think it's mainly just a max HP issue right now. He doesn't have his arm finished. He just looks kind of squishy. He doesn't even have that much defense either. So maybe rather than risking that early game fight where he actually has a really good chance of winning, he's just opting to play it safe, opting to go for placement, which I honestly do respect.
Yeah, I do think we're starting to see like more of like a mental shift from him. Normally Howard would be the person to go for those type of kills in that situation, but like you said, it is something that is risky, and when you do take those fights, you always are at risk of just being third-partied or being put low enough, even if you do get those kills and the heal from those kills, to just die right away. Homecoming going for this tree again, second game in a row, without anybody nearby.
So that's actually almost not anybody. Shoix was there a moment ago to contest the tree, and this is the second game in a row he has been forced away by Homecoming, as Homecoming gets it for free. Now, on beach, Magnus8 versus Alexich. Alexich is actually in very good shape, having finished a Chinese opera mask already. Magnus8 opting to bike, because when you're on the bike, you cannot be CC'd. Gets away for free. Averse. I can't tell if Averse is in trouble here, or... Oh my god, Averse, what are those items? Averse, no.
Shoix having a bit of a hard time getting these kills in the previous games, a lot of them being stolen from him, but this kill, I mean, Hagen is such a hard character to kill out, but we are going to see the E over the wall, just skipping most of the map, and is going to be free to get away here. Man, poor Averse, from that fight we saw earlier, Ghost Electricity for that loot, I think it is very, very clear on who won that fight. What is Ghost Electricity sitting on right now? Yeah.
Way better items. So basically, the problem with Hedgen versus Hedgen, or sorry, having two Hedgens in the same lobby, is that they're going to be contesting the exact same items. It tends to be where just one Hedgen gets all of the materials while the other one is left sort of to suffer. Unfortunately, it looks like Averse was the character, or sorry, was the player who ended up not getting the items, Well, Ghost Electricity got pretty much everything. Now, PM Howard's in a lot of trouble because Xiaosei is right here, ready to contest PM Howard. He chains the Q. It does end up landing. That is going to be a route guaranteed to land on Howard in just a moment. But if Xiaosei can actually finish this off, that remains to be seen. Yes, Howard does end up falling to Xiaosei. Now, during that fight, Crone ended up dropping, I believe, to Ghost Electricity. Yes, that's true. Who managed to get the combo on him. We didn't see exactly how he went down, but yeah, that's a pretty big kill early for Ghost Electricity.
Ah man, this makes me so happy to see Xiaosei actually finally pick up those kills on the air so he actually did get his build together this time around. I know we've been hyping up for literally 3 games straight, and finally we are going to see the AR ISO perform. That is what he is known for. He is known for putting out such strong performance with that weapon, really just being the person who kind of put that weapon on the map aside from other players like Esther, which we saw from a previous tournament viewers. And look, Xiaosei is just scaring everybody off. Celeste, who was scaring Howard off a moment ago even though he had more items, is now being scared off by Xiaosei.
I like Xiaosei's interpretation of this build. Instead of going for a more offensive, low HP AK-12 version, he's got the Moto Helm, he's got the magazine, and the Sheath of Shah Jahan. There's a ton of max HP on this build.
I do think we've been seeing a lot of this. I don't know if you have noticed it, but we've been seeing a ton of max health stacking. A lot of double Iron Sheath builds with the magazine and the Sheath Shah Jahan. Oh, Homecoming trying to drop the ult, but Ashian is a very wise man. He has seen this story before. He is not going to sit there and take that ulti like it's nothing, because that could have spelled doom for Ashian. But Ashian, on the other hand, not going for a chase at all. We do know one thing about Yuki is that he can run. And he can run very far and very fast.
Yeah, even Fiora, a character with fantastic mobility, is not really quite able to catch up to to Yuki in that situation, especially since Ashen is on Lance of Poseidon, which is not quite the same as Rapier when it comes to mobility. You have less CDR, and you don't have Rapier skill, which is one of the best chase tools in the game. So Ashen opting instead to just go for the safe farm. I honestly think that Homecoming threw out the ultimate there just to get the farm. I don't even think he was trying to catch Ashen with that ultimate. Ooh, these traps, this catches, okay, this just cracks me up every time I see it. Lenny putting down the early pendulum axis to catch Mage8 to give him that chance to run away. Honestly, I love seeing it from him because it's such a unique playstyle. If you turned off everybody's names and you just had me guess like, oh, who is the player that I'm watching right now, with 100% certainty I could tell you it was Lenny, because no one else plays Hyunwoo like Lenny.
I don't fully understand it. At first, I thought it was more of a joke, but the more I see him play, he just is very adamant about it. And it doesn't seem like it slows him down at all. He just has it, like, boom, there's just a bamboo trap. He sees a fight, he's like, I don't care, hit me. Here's a bamboo trap.
I don't know how he fits that many traps in his build, or like in his inventory. Like literally, how is he going full build while also carrying like 4 explosive traps, 4 pendulum axes, bamboo traps, like all this stuff? How does he have room for this? Ooh. Teska catching Lenny. Xiaosei, excuse me, in a lot of trouble, maybe? He was dropping pretty low, but Averse is even lower with very little finish at the moment. Averse has to go over the wall here in order to not get popped by Xiaosei. You hate to see the Scorch Bow. You really just truly hate to see it. I assume he's down on feathers, if I had to guess, because Forest closed early and he's been in Cemetery for a while, so my guess is he is trying to get those feathers, but now Cemetery's closing too. Man, if I'm Averse, I am just cursing the game right now for just not having enough feathers.
Man, it hurts my heart because I did just put him as my dark horse, and
his least favorite character to run into too. He hates CCeles. Oh no.
I can't blame him. I also hate CCeles. Dying to CCeles, especially this build. Hey, look, I'm sorry. We gotta talk after this. Look, CCeles. Okay, just that build though. That build is. Look, you can't respect that build. That build does things that should not be allowed.
No,
okay, that's a 366 crit.
I'll let you. You know, I'll let you go on that one. Yeah, that build, it annoys me too. Xiaosei.
If you're on the spicy, ooh, wait a second.
Xiaosei dropping very low. Go ahead.
Has nothing to his name though. Xiaosei could potentially turn us with a good place Q, but those chakrams are catching up. Oh no, this does look like it's gonna be the end for Xiaosei.
Xiaosei falling once again. Honestly, I think here's something that I've noticed has been the biggest issue for Xiaosei this whole time. Oh, also, hold on. We have Wickley being taken very low by Ashen, but Teska. Oh, please tell me Teska steals this. I just want to see it. No, Ashen does end up taking it. If Fuma's Shuriken Hedgen ended up taking Wick there, I would have absolutely lost it. But Ashen, no, as he often does, ends up securing it. But that does mean that Teska gets all of the items. But anyway, let's talk more about Xiaosei real quick. So, unfortunately, Xiaosei's dead, right? But here's the thing. Xiaosei Like, his build has been disrupted so hard by Homecoming this whole time. Oh, Shoix ends up falling to Mage8. Ironic coming into the third party, but I don't think he really has a chance against Mage8, even though Mage8's ultimate is down. Ironic doesn't seem to be in the best position right now necessarily to take Mage8. Mage8's healing so much. Look at that, 46 tick per second, and Ironic himself, he has no healing reduction. That is a very, very difficult fight for a Jackie to win with no healing reduction against a Chiara, even without their ultimate. Ooh,
yeah,
Ashen.
that's gonna be...
Ashen was chasing Tesca, but yeah, it just didn't end up going anywhere. Uh-oh.
The problem here that ended up arising is that Ashen, while he did secure the Wick, what he really wants from that Wick line is the VF Blood. He wants to upgrade that spear. But sadly, since Tesca got everything, even though the buff is amazing and you clearly want it, it's going to help any matchup you're in 100% of the time, that Blood is going to let him transition into a much better weapon for the late game. Alex just kind of getting bullied out of pawn here. And we're saying Ghost Electricity, while Averse may have dropped early. Or no, Averse? No, Averse is still alive.
Huge damage coming out of Ironic. Mage8 falls to Ironic. Wow, that was some insane burst coming out of Ironic. And now Tesca gets to loot the... Wait, did Tesca get those Mithril Shoes for free? Or does Ashen get to pick them up? It will remain to be seen. I don't even know if Ashen wants them if he gets the chance. He does, however, drop the Quiver. Ironic coming back in for round number 2 against Ashen. But remember, Ashen has that Wick buff. Ashen is quite good at bursting Jackies, and it looks like Ironic will end up falling despite his very good kill on Mage8.
I think we just saw kind of the power of Spear there. Ashen, despite the power, he was spacing beautifully. He never let the Jackie get an auto attack in for free. You clearly saw he just kept like a character unit away from Jackie the entire time. Just keep that spear range, making sure that Jackie could never get the hits to lifesteal off.
Honestly, like, it feels, I swear, it feels like we're down to just our final 6 players, but there's 10 players left. We still have Alexich, Magnusape, Averse, Tesca, Blem, DeusXM, Ghost Electricity, Celeste, and Homecoming. That is a ton of heavy hitters. We do have a lot of power still on the map, and half of them are actually all like kind of congregating over here in Pond. Not really sure why. Is Ghost Electricity just trying to hide? No, he's going for boar kills. Interesting.
This definitely feels like it's been going a lot slower than the other games. I feel like we've been seeing people just die so frequently in the other games. I like how Homecoming was just waiting.
He was like, nah, you TP, I want to TP, let's just both do each other a favor. I won't mess with you, you don't mess with me. How about that? Oh, Averse. Did Averse finally finish this weapon? He did. Yo, can I get some clap emojis in the chat for Averse finally finishing his build over here in day 3 of game number 4. Although unfortunately for him, he has very little mastery to his name, and he is stuck between DeusXM and Magnusape. Waiting right here in the bush. Averse does check it. It does root Magnusape in place. A beautiful fear as well. That was wonderfully played by Averse.
Yeah, you know this man has seen that story time and time again. Walking into a bush and just sadly dying. He had more than enough time to play the W down, but now we're just gonna see some poke wars go out between Magnusape and Deus. These two players really haven't been fighting all too much this game. They need to catch up on mastery, or we might see a similar situation like game 2 earlier, where we saw Magnusape and Homecoming, where sadly, even though Magnusape played beautifully, he just didn't have the mastery to keep up. Ashen, still with the Whipland buff, is gonna put some pressure onto Homecoming here in Factory, but nothing's gonna really come out of it.
Wait, we might have a Hedgen fight over here in Temple as Averse is getting awfully close to Ghost Electricity. It looks like it's not going to actually turn into anything. How's Tesca doing? Like, we were talking about this build earlier. That being said, Tesca's version of this is a little bit less tanky than I'm used to. He actually has some offensive items, which I am a big fan of. I want to see Tesca just kill somebody. Like, I really, really want to see a Shuriken Hedgen kill here in the ERCS Solo Open Finals. Like, that would be the highlight of the tournament for me.
Just one kill coming out. I don't know who he could possibly kill, but man, I hope he just takes the game. He's been playing the wonkiest builds for 3 games straight, and I respect it. I
absolutely respect it. I think he's just like having fun with it at this point, and honestly, he's been doing pretty well. Like, his placement hasn't been terrible. Okay, so Homecoming takes down a big bear. I don't know if he's actually going to get anything good out of that. But he does have the Leviathan, though, which is quite good for him. Alexich using the ultimate to secure the bear as well. Guys, you'll see something out of higher level players is that they're not afraid to use their ultimates to just clear high level bears quickly. Averse versus Ghost Electricity. Averse throws down the ultimate. Several omens seem to be hitting Ghost Electricity as Ghost Electricity throws down the D skill, trying to kite away. But man, ERBS is doing great. Oh, an ultimate coming out of Ghost Electricity. He's trying to turn the pressure back onto ERBS. Beautiful dodges coming out of Ghost Electricity, but it looks like ERBS is going to get the advantage right here. Oh, a beautiful set of skills coming down from Ghost Electricity will possibly push ERBS away, although I gotta say, Hedgen's ultimate is not very good for stealthing away. It kind of reveals your position to anyone nearby, but it looks like Ghost Electricity will be able to get back into the zone pretty much for free. Jumping over the wall as well. Beautifully done there by Ghost Electricity to safely make it back in and also get over onto the bridge. Although, oh, Magnus8, has he sniffed this out? No, he was just going to kill a bat. Very different.
I do want to know what Ghost Electricity was thinking there to go back in at a quarter HP. That is not a play I would have ever made. But wait, we are seeing a massive convergence on this bridge. We're seeing 3 players here. We're seeing a Yuki on the other end. We're seeing another Hedgen sitting on the backside. 2 people sitting at the top side of Hospital. What if fight breaks out here? We're going to see a bloodbath.
I mean, I gotta say, there are 10 players left, and we are coming into the final zone now. There's no way there isn't going to be a massive fight coming up in the next few seconds. Celeste and Magnus8, they're throwing some pressure onto each other, but neither can really commit to the kill. However, ERBS is right here on the other side of the bridge to pinch Celeste in a terrible, terrible position. Now, Magnus8 plus ERBS together, they will try to get the kill onto Celeste, and yes, Celeste does end up falling. Magnus8 secures the kill, and now ERBS is in a bad situation with Ghost Electricity coming in for the 4th party. Actually, ERBS just gets away. Now Magnus8's in trouble.
Magnus8 is in a lot of trouble. Alexich is coming in, does land the root, and the second part of the root will secure the kill. Alexich going with the skill, and the ultimate will have ulti procs, despite the fact that he was feared. He might be able to get the read the activation here to take a teleport on Ghost Electricity. But yeah, like we mentioned, the bloodbath is coming down. We see 2 people in hospital. We're just going to see ERBS still on the bridge.
Yeah, so ERBS is trying to loot Celeste right here, right now. Oh, the root comes down from ERBS, does catch Ghost Electricity, but he is able to reactivate that E. He does manage to get away. We have Ashen versus DeusXM, a very explosive matchup. Either of these players could just... Teska! Get the kill, Teska! Teska! Yes! Teska
Let's go,
gets a
Teska.
kill with the Shuriken Hedgen! I'm so happy. Okay. Anyways, but for real though, Ghost Electricity versus ERBS, it's happening once again. Ghost Electricity is dropping very low. He throws the E down, doesn't get much distance, and is forced into the red. ERBS, with the nice chase, does end up picking up the kill. That's 1 less Hedgen in this final zone.
I simply can't believe that Teska sold Ashen. It's crazy.
Dude, I can't believe Teska killed Ashen 100-0. There was no outside influence there whatsoever. Oh, this is a tough situation for both DeusXM and Alexich. Alexich wants to try and gatekeep Deus here at the red zone. Deus is losing timer very quickly. He throws down the W to play defensively, but now keep in mind, Alexich is actually stuck between Blem and DeusXM. It's not necessarily DeusXM stuck in the red zone necessarily. Ooh, a missed E coming out of Deus though. Alexich is putting a ton of pressure on. He has the ultimate to activate if it comes to it, but now Deus is caught between Blem and Alexich. Ooh, almost out of timer too.
We're seeing a lot of aggressive player. Oh god, Deus is down to 3 seconds. He does need to go back to his own. Blem putting down those auto attacks. The Enan just doing so much damage, chewing through Deus' defenses, and that is going to spell the end of Deus over here. But aside from that, we have been seeing a little bit of red pings coming over from Ponyo. Yeah, Homecoming down to 3 seconds. ERBS really putting on the pressure to Homecoming here. Beautiful spacing from ERBS. Will dodge Yuki ultimate and will drop the ultimate of his own. Oh my god, ERBS with such good spacing. They drop Homecoming to a quarter HP here and just really weave in those auto attacks. Will whip the W.
Oh my god, please, if Homecoming gets away from this, I'm actually gonna lose it. Homecoming, no, he will end up falling to ERBS. ERBS, finally, despite his very lackluster start to this game, is showing up here in game number 4. He's already picked up 2 kills. He's killed off some of the best players currently in the lobby. Wait, are these all Alexich's? They are. Alexich has just secured the bridge for himself, which, I mean, it's not necessarily the best thing in the world because, I mean, I'm sorry, but the final zone is right here. You don't get to be safe over here on the bridge. With only 10 seconds left, both of these players are a little bit low on red zone timer, and now we have ERBS v Alexich. ERBS has to travel across the bridge of death at the moment. Alexich throws down the ultimate. He's gonna hit more fire traps as he tries to go in. There's 1, there's 2. Now remember, Alexich is still ticking on his ultimate. He only has 5 seconds left on his timer. He could explode any second. He's trying to kill ERBS before he goes down. That will give him a few more time. Oh, he doesn't get to reactivate the ultimate. Alexich goes down. ERBS is now, the onus is on him to get into this final zone. He's gonna try and E over the wall to avoid these fire traps. If his E comes back up in time, 5 seconds left. He gets into the zone, but he's eating fire traps. Tezca, the shuriken rat hedge build is putting a ton of pressure onto Verse and will fall to Tezca. Tezca putting a ton of pressure onto Blem. Blem is very low. That's a lot of damage coming out from Blem, though. Tezca could fall at any moment. The ultimate reset from Blem is going to give him a ton of HP back in this fight. Now it's Tezca with the life disadvantage, but a ton of damage coming out of Tezca. The beautiful fear is not going to be enough as Blem ends up taking game number 4, our first heart victory of this tournament. That was, I'm speechless, Tom. I'm speechless.
My heart just sunk for Alex. I know 100% what he was going for. He wanted the reset. He gets that kill. He gets the reset on the ultimate. He gets 7 seconds to his timer. He can make it back to the console in time. But such a tragic death. He didn't get the reactivation. Maybe he got a little too cocky at the very end there and just didn't do it. Maybe he was out of range. I don't know, but he just, oh my god, my heart. I feel so bad for him. But I thought we were about to see a Shuriken Hessian take a game here. Blem was one auto attack away from death. This man, I got nothing.
Dude,
I actually have nothing.
Look at his level too. His mastery, he had no business doing as well as he did right there at the end. But in any case, guys, in game number 4, our second to last game of the night, Blem takes first place with 2 kills, and honestly, despite only having 2 kills, was an absolutely dominating performance by our Enad Heart player Blem. In second place, we had Tezca with the Rat Shuriken Hedged build, one of my favorite builds ever to come out in this game because of how absolutely, like, this build is just like beyond words. It is something else entirely. Managing to pick up 2 kills and of course secured a high placement of second place. And in third place we had Bohedgen of Verse. Despite his, like, I've never seen a Verse have such a rough start to a game. He still manages to pick up 3 kills and he still manages to get third place. Of course, a special shout out to Alexich, Ghost Electricity, and I believe that's it for getting the most kills outside of the top 3. With 2 kills each. Honestly, Alexich's, like, the reactivation, or rather the lack of reactivation right there at the end, it broke my heart to watch that happen. I thought for sure he had made the heads up play of just saying, hey, I'm gonna die to zone. I need the 7 seconds from killing a Verse. He had just enough damage if he managed to get the reactivation off, but it just didn't come out in time. I don't know if it was a misclick. I don't know if it was just a misevaluation of how much time was left on the ultimate. In either case, absolutely heartbreaking, but a great gameplay performance by Alexich that game. Guys, that was it for game number 4. Sit tight. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we're going to show you the scores going into the final game and go into the final game of the night, game number 5 here on the ERCS Solo Finals.
My god, what a crazy game 4. I think we saw, so one thing we didn't really see from this game was Homecoming. We've been talking about him all day. He just didn't do anything that game, and it is with good reason. He is not doing that unintentionally. There is no reason for him to take risky fights right now. He is the person to beat, and just getting that placement alone is going to be good enough for him. He did secure a 5th place. Even if he had 0 kills to his name, he doesn't need to risk it. As long as he's not 18th right now, he's still getting those points.
I think the thing is with Homecoming also is that I think if he noticed that Celeste was actually getting a lot of kills, I think he's gonna start feeling that pressure that maybe he might be losing that first place spot. But since Celeste did end up falling, like, I want to say it was like halfway through the lobby or something, didn't get a ton of kills, I think Homecoming feels very confident in just staying with a safe high placement, not taking those risky fights, and just securing first place and that big chunk of the prize pool.
Yeah, it's really crazy. He just really doesn't need to do anything unless Celeste is right now. I just don't see how anybody else right now can really take it unless they get the craziest hop-off game of their life. But, you know, that can always happen. It happened once, it can happen again.
Now, as the players are trickling in here for the final game, let's check out the scores. I'm going to double check to make sure they're updated before I throw them up there. 1 second, guys. We'll be seeing the scores in just a second. All right, these scores are updated. Let's check them out. Currently, in first place, we have Homecoming with 99.5 points, although not too far behind him is Celeste in second place with 72.5 points. In third place, we have Mage8 with 62 points. Fourth place is ERBS. He has broken into the top 5 with 42 points. And in fifth place, despite his very consistent performance, we have Magnus8 with 40.5 points. Right below him, we have Alexich Chiara, Blem, and DeusXM. Any of these players could bring a very strong performance and end up making it into the top 5 to get that prize money. But in any case, guys, this is a really great, like, so far, every single game has delivered and then some. It's been so much fun so far, and honestly, every final zone has been some of the most exciting gameplay I've ever seen in this game.
Man, I haven't seen games like this. Like, I was when we were playing the like sweaty customs not too long ago, I was like, man, this feels really, really good to play, and I love this. Everyone, you just have to respect everybody. It's so funny. You see like the top tier of every character, and you just get to now commentating this from the outside watching in. I'm just like, man, it is so cool to see everybody's movement, what their thought process is throughout the game. Some people just opting to stay docked the entire game, others on a complete bloodbath on a motorcycle, some just opting for fire traps. But all of them have their own unique character expression, and just they want to take the game their own way, and it's working for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, honestly, like, I think one of the most surprising things I've noticed from this game is how many players are bringing fire traps into the final square. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed a massive uptick in fire traps in the final squares?
I honestly didn't just want to say that those were fire traps being passed around from Lenny's corpse, but I get this odd feeling those could all be from Lenny's corpse. I just want a screenshot of his inventory after this tournament. It's just all fire traps, and I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even think it's like edited.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if those were mostly Lenny's, but in any case, I am noticing that our players in general are just bringing more traps, and I do like that in general. We're currently waiting on one more player, and I'm not sure who. We'll get that sorted out, and then we'll get right into the final game of the night, game number 5. What were you gonna say, Tom?
I do believe the thing with fire traps, I know we all know fire traps are kind of just an okay-ish trap. They don't really do too much, especially later on into the game. But the big thing about them is you know you're going to be seeing a lot of people in these final squares. You're not going to get your typical solo queue match where you're just kind of like 1 or 2 other people. You know you're going to be seeing 7 or 8 people, and traps are really going to do a ton of damage, true damage to everybody, alleviate a lot of pressure from yourself, and just farm you up some good trap master, getting you a little bit ahead than everybody else. And that's one quick way to boost you up. We saw this earlier. I believe it was in game 3 with Zhao Zhe, where he just skyrocketed to level 20 right off the bat off all of his traps.
All right, we have all of our players. Guys, I can't say this enough. We're in our final game. This could be anybody's game still. Will Homecoming end up securing first place with his very, very strong early performance in the tournament? Or will Celeste end up dethroning him and taking rank number 1? In any case, it's going to be intense. It's going to be a ton of fun. So let's get right into it. Game number 5 begins right now.
Alright, so we are going to go into the final character selection screen, and I don't know. That is not the lock-in I'm expecting here.
Wait, from
Shoix?
What's Shoix on? Where? Am I blind?
Chiara, yeah, exactly.
Chiara?
You're looking around. You're looking around. You're like, wait, what is this? That's not Jackie. That's a Chiara.
We're seeing most of our players opting for what they've been playing throughout the entire tournament. We're seeing Elite Miko still on Dylan. Deus is still on CCeles. But yeah, Shoix on Chiara. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
I don't think anybody did either. I don't know if this is a pick that maybe he's been labbing out a little bit, or this could be the pick of, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm going to have too hard of a time getting into here. Maybe let's see if we can sneak in that 5th place right under everybody's noses with some really dominant performance and just probably pick up a few of those kills. Maybe surprise some people, since no one does expect Shoix on Chiara of all characters.
All right. Moving into this final game. Wait, hold on. What's Teska playing? Teska's back on Jackie. Man, Teska.
I mean, wait, to be fair, it's probably going to be Cardinal.
Okay, that's true. Teska has been playing like spicy things the entire time, even when he's playing Jackie, who is very meta at the moment. He is playing, he's playing a spicy Jackie. He's playing Karnwen, which is not a weapon we see too much. But in any case, guys, as we go into game number 5, I'm seeing 4 people in Cemetery, which is, I assume, let me guess, Homecoming, Xiaosei, Oh, Lenny, of course, because Lenny makes all those traps. And Mage8, all these players scrambling to get the items that they need. I think this is why Xiaosei is doing not so great compared to his in-house performances, that he has way more people contesting his items. There's more Chiaras. We have Homecoming on Yuki instead of Nadine. I think that's actually making it really tough for Xiaosei to get what he needs to snowball the early game.
I do think one thing that we're seeing, and
yeah, he has to backtrack here.
We're gonna probably see Homecoming being contested quite a bit this game. I just can't see them giving Homecoming that same level of respect they give him every single game. He just has so much free space, and it honestly blows my mind. A Ghost Electricity on the Scorch Bureau looks like a verse also on the Scorch Bureau as well. They are not trying to fight for loot this time around. A verse opted to just go around and say, you know what, those boxes are gone. I'm gonna go get my own boxes, even if it is a tad bit slower.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so what's Teska on? Oh, well, he hasn't finished his weapon yet, but there's a good chance he does end up finishing a Karn one, as he has been known to do, despite playing Dagger Jackie. What's Lenny doing? He's finished his weapon so far. Is he one of the first to finish? Okay, we have Ironic with the Vibroblade already. We have PM Howard with... What is... Lenny, what? Oh, I think he's dropping them just to drop them?
No. He wants blood. He is hoping anybody that tries to go through this bridge right now is dead.
Interesting.
Those enhanced mousetraps deal, I believe, 150 damage each?
I thought it was like 200, yeah, or it was 160 maybe? I don't know if that number is accurate, but in any case, that is a lot of damage, if that is true. Also, it does scale with your trap mastery as well, and guys, keep in mind, trap damage is true damage. So that's a lot of damage early game, when honestly, that can be about a quarter of your HP.
One thing I would like to point out, I know this probably, so maybe not too excited, look at the discrepancy between the sides of the map right now. Pretty much everybody's on the left side of the map. On the right side of the map, we're seeing 4 people. Yeah.
We're seeing Mage8, we're seeing Ironic, Lenny. These players don't have a lot finished at the moment. Mage8 is already finished with his Mistleton. Let me see him. Yeah, Mage8 is already finished with his Mistleton, which is a lot more than I can say about Alexich's current build. I gotta say, DeusXM, which is a player who we haven't been seeing a ton out of this tournament. He is very built compared to the whole rest of the lobby. He's already got the Vital Sign Sensor, the Schrodinger's Box, the Fire Helmet, and the David Sling. It's a very good position to be in. But honestly, it doesn't look like he has many people to potentially farm early game.
Yeah, we haven't really been seeing early kills come up from the people you would expect to pick up early kills. People like that Sissela, people like the Adriana. We've just been seeing those early kills come from things like Yuki, Silvia, even the Heart. Heart's one thing we should be seeing a lot of early kills from. But look, now we're finally seeing Deus do what he's been destined to do, which is pick up those early kills on that Sissela. Dropping down the Q, getting down the auto attack, drawing down the ultimate. I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah. That being said, honestly, that damage might have been enough to help Celeste secure the kill onto Blem. It's impossible to watch 2 fights at the same time, but it does look like that this fight up here in Hotel did go in Celeste's favor. Blem, one of our most consistent players in this tournament so far, will end up falling at the start of game number 5. How's Homecoming doing? Kind of just doing what Homecoming's been doing this whole time, right?
No, wait, I just don't want to see a craft. If I see a craft animation, I'm losing my mind.
If he got the 4 score there off of the bear, I also would have just lost it at that moment. How's Ironic doing? Ironic is getting awfully close to landing. We've seen this fight a bunch of times in this tournament. Oh, how did that not stun?
Ironic didn't get the stun though, sadly, and you can see Lenny preemptively ulting. Had the stun drop there, I think that probably would have spelled at the end Fire Nick, you could still jump over the wall, but he would have been in a very, very scary position.
So I'm seeing this consistently. A verse is still just on a Scorch Bow. This man has not been able to finish his Elemental Bow early at all, I feel like, in the entire series, whereas Ghost Electricity has been consistently finishing that relatively early. It is a routing difference between these two players. However, Ghost Electricity in a lot of trouble against Shoix. Okay, Shoix, a beautiful re-engage over the wall that is going to be putting Ghost Electricity very low. Ghost Electricity does end up falling. Shoix.
Something we haven't commented here yet. He's not on Missile Team this time around. He's on the Volsetto with the White Rhinos and Shifu Shah Jahan.
Ooh,
Bowser, he's doing the one that people thought from day one. Oh, Howard.
Howard's in a lot of trouble against Magnus8. A beautiful dash over the wall, but it will not be enough. The bite comes out of Magnus8, and PM Howard, unfortunately, will be falling very early in Game 5 as well. ERBS is in a fight with DeusXM. Deus doing a lot of damage. The ultimate to get the fear comes back out of ERBS, but the fear's not that long at the moment. Early in the game, the fear is only a few, like 0.5 to 1 second long. ERBS ends up falling to DeusXM. Deus has actually been doing a very good job so far at the start of this game, but Alexich in trouble as both Celeste and Magnus8 are trying to put a lot of pressure onto him. Although it looks like it won't be able to be translated into a kill yet unless Celeste manages to catch back up and do enough damage. Celeste is on the trail. Okay, Celeste catches Alex.
We're gonna see Celeste is gonna engage with the bike here. He's running pretty low on fuel, but the Magnum Bow auto attacks and the combination with the Mithril Shield is gonna be doing a lot of damage here. Does land here, does pick up a little bit of fuel, will break the tether, but you will only have enough fuel here to mount up, and I think that's as far as you're gonna get. But we are seeing that Alex's will walk away. Xiaoze is gonna try to put the kill on Homecoming here, but Homecoming getting the Q crit will spawn the end of Xiaoze new security. Celeste going back in.
Wow, they're fighting in the red zone now. Alexich and Celeste both losing a lot of time. Alexich in a lot of trouble. I think Celeste is trying to predict where Alex may come back out here. Unfortunately, he just goes for the bat, and he is low on mana too, so maybe that was not the right call there. Maybe that was not going to be a kill that he could go for. But man, I gotta talk about this. Homecoming v Xiaoze. Xiaoze just not catching a break against Homecoming. Homecoming has single-handedly been shutting Xiaoze out of this tournament.
It is such a sad way to really just get out of this game. But you know what? If there's someone you have to really just die to, I don't think you feel bad ever dying to Homecoming. This man has had such a dominant performance, and he's trying to do some cute things here. I don't know if you're noticing with the booby traps.
Wait, Homecoming?
Yeah, I don't think he saw it. It was very fast. He's been placing booby traps on for the chickens to walk into them. Okay. For that little bit of extra trap mastery.
Yeah, it doesn't change that much. Like, even just the damage from booby trap, it won't do too much for your trap mastery, but I guess it's something, right? DeusXM now is here to try and fight Homecoming. That's a pretty dangerous fight to take, but I think both these players are very strong at the moment. They both have a kill to their name. Either could end up taking this.
Yeah, we are seeing... Ooh, we're seeing a lot of fights on the map here. Ashing it with an E, but Homecoming is going on Deus here, and I think we're going to see a repeat of Game 2 here, of a nice game of Ring Around the Rosie, Yuki v Cicela. But Deus isn't...
Well, that fight takes forever to finish. Let's watch the fight that is likely going to finish much quicker. Ash v Magnus8. Oh, I guess Magnus8 just bikes away. No, there's that fight. It's done.
Hey, I think that's something people keep forgetting about. Like, Magnus, even though he's not considered like the strongest character in the game right now, he's just so good at running away. All you really do need is a nicely placed E, and then your ultimate, and you're good to go. Go to another zone, have a great time. And yeah. Of course, Teska is, it feels really weird saying this, but of course he's on the Carnawan. And Deus has just been fighting for the last 5 years. His defense mastery is going to be maxed out by the end of this game. A beautiful E on the bike. The bike will need to wind up a little bit longer.
I want to say that E actually caught Celeste as they used their own E on the bike. So that is also down as well. Oh, there it is, back up again. A nice bike combo coming out of Celeste, dealing a lot of damage to Deus. But Deus, as long as he just gets away and kites his heart out, he'll be in great shape, actually. Alexich now in a fight with Crone up in archery range. He throws down the ultimate. Crone puts a lot of pressure. In my opinion, this fight, it does end up going to it goes to Crone. I think the Rapier Fiora Chiara matchup is actually in favor of the Rapier Fiora. So Alexich knows this and he just opts to get away. Mage8, or sorry, Shoix. I keep thinking the other Chiara is going to be Mage8. It's Shoix is not too far behind.
It's such a weird thing to say. You don't think Shoix and immediately think of Chiara. You think of Jackie and quite literally anything else. Probably definitely not Chiara. Come out of him. He is opting to go for the auto attack, but he will drop the ultimate with the E, sadly. Corrin going in and just absolutely annihilating him.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That matchup between Rapier Fiora and Chiara, in my humble opinion, it does favor the Rapier quite significantly. The Rapier Fiora has more than enough damage to just make it through that sort of like kitey, long duration fight that Chiara wants to take, and it ends up just going to Fiora pretty much every time. Teska.
I think one thing I am very curious about, where is our current kills looking like between Homecoming and Celeste, the two really big contenders right now for placements.
Ooh, okay.
And Magnus taking a fight. Magnus
I feel like I've seen this before. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it a few times. Just biking out as always.
So Magnus does end up getting away. I want to know where Homecoming is. Oh, he's in dock. Wow, who could have seen that coming? So Homecoming, since he did manage to get that tree from, I guess, that fight with Xiaosei, he did secure the tree for himself. He has managed to come back and finish his Leviathan. That is a big power advantage for him right now. He's crafting something. What is he crafting? Oh, that was a mithril armor. Okay, so Homecoming picks up his first mithril of the game. Now, somewhere else, we have Lenny in an engagement with Ashen. It looks like Lenny not winning that fight too well. He's gonna try and rest in the building. Will Ashen manage to catch him? Keep in mind, guys, we are in nighttime, which means that everyone has significantly reduced vision. Both these players just resting right next to each other, neither player knowing that they're there.
Yeah, this is looking pretty... My god, everyone is just converging for this wick line. We're seeing the fire trap drop down. Nunwo is a character that can easily drop down. Oh my god, Iron Nick almost getting blown away immediately by Ashen. Wait, who's the curious? Lenny actually getting the wick line through the combination of his burst and the traps. My god, wait. Iron Nick barely just walking with his life, and now Lenny finally with a wick line. He might actually be able to scale into the late game because of this. Probably follows some mastery, much needed mastery. But I do believe, I'm not sure if Ashen got it. If he got the components from the wick line.
I was about to say, I'm not sure who ended up getting the pieces from Wick's body. It could have been either player. Now Celeste is caught between Ironic and Crone. He's just trying to get away, and well, he is Silvia, so he kind of will be able to. Tezca somewhere else. Oh, he's dying to a bear. Okay, Ironic is in a lot of trouble dealing with Crone. I'm pretty sure Crone can't necessarily catch up here, although Alexich is also here to try and catch Ironic. One good E. Well, never mind. No good E.
it's a slightly off angle. He's warming it up for the next one.
Yeah, honestly, look, people give Chiara a lot of, you know, they get upset at Chiara for having a really hard to miss E, but honestly, it's not the freest skill shot in the world, especially if the Jackie player you're trying to land it on could go in any direction. So, unfortunately, for Alex, I guess Ironic just gets away.
I think the funniest thing here is Magnus8 checking Doc to see if anything's there. Sir, you are in a lobby of Homecoming. You are not getting any Doc bears. He has that on a notepad written down. He knows the times. He has set up his little tent there. He is going to be back when they are alive. I'm sorry to tell you, Magnus8.
Yeah, I can assure you Homecoming is pinging whenever he kills a bear. Homecoming is typing in chat, you know, Doc Bear up in X seconds or something. Well, that being said, there are two engagements being thrown down over here in Pond. One is between DeusXM and Ironic. The other is between Elite Miko and Crone. Elite Miko is our full amp Dylan player who unfortunately will not find the damage they need to take down Crone. Crone picks up another kill, 2 kills here in game 5. Tezca dropping very low, I assume against Lenny. Assuming that damage is not just carrying over from that bear fight that they had earlier. Lenny attempting to catch up, but will be checking the wrong bush, and Tezca gets away.
Really interesting seeing the Lenny and Tezca fight happening over the bears and alley, but I don't know if it's gonna really matter too much. Celeste is having to bike out of here while Ashen does need teleport. These two players were just like, okay, we're gonna respect each other here. Let's just get out here. Ironic and Karin going back in on one another. Karin with the Dobok range, making it impossible for Ironic to actually make the turn there. That is going to be the end of his run in this series. That good attempt, but the Dobok range is so good against melee characters. Lenny on the Chinese Opera Mouse. I think we know who got the components.
Okay, yeah, I have a pretty strong feeling I know who it is. Keep in mind, Lenny, how close is he to level 14 weapon? Hold on. 10, so he's not quite there yet. Once he gets that level 2 glove skill, he's going to be significantly stronger than he is right now. But until then, he is still powerful because he does have that wick buff for another 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, this is going to be huge, and this is probably the exact same reason why he is chasing. I don't think Lenny really thinks he can get the kill on Tezca, but, you know, just getting those hits in, letting that wick bleed tick down, just combining some auto attacks, farming up a little bit of mastery along the way will always stack up in the long run. He really does need glove skill level 2, like we mentioned, is one of the strongest abilities in the game. But Deus is going to run into Ashen here, and Ashen is still on that spear, which is going to give him a little bit of extended range. Does drop the Q despite it not getting through Shape Rock, and Deus does get the beautiful pull over the wall, and that is going to be end of Ashen's chase. Deus will be forced in the pond here.
Yeah, both these players bleeding a lot of their red zone timer because of that chase. DeusXM does manage to secure, well, I guess secure safety. You know, he doesn't die there, which is pretty good. A beautiful combo coming out from Lenny. The ultimate haymaker does not end up landing. Ashen, he has the Spear of Longinus. You can see that lifesteal. It's a ton of lifesteal. Lenny is forced to run away here. This is not a fight he can end up winning. God, I at this point, I actually don't know who got the VF blood sample. It could have been either of these players, because both Ashen and Lenny both have crafted something out of a VF blood sample.
I think the one thing we saw that was super important there was Ashen understands this character and that matchup very, very well. He knew right away that the moment Lenny uses combo, even if he's at half health, he's like, why am I giving it a run? I'll just man fight you. I'm just gonna lifesteal directly. You have no healing reduction. What are you gonna do to me? You got Wick line, who cares? I'm just stronger than you at this stage of the game. You need love, skilled level 2.
Also, this is not a build you necessarily see a ton of. This might be something that Ashen has sort of been, I don't know, preparing especially just for this tournament. We have a fight between Tezca and Crone. We also have Ashen ready to third party against Tezca. Although, will he switch his focus to Crone? He will. A huge amount of burst damage coming out of Ashen. We'll see if this 1v1 matchup between Spear and Rapier goes. Wow, that was a ton of damage coming out of Ashen. Okay, I take it back. Ashen 100% wins that. Like, not even close.
Yeah.
He was like half HP.
Spear giving him essentially the Dobok range already, and that is the one issue you're going to see with Rapier. Rapier doesn't have any defensive tools built into it, while Spear on the other hand does have the Spear active. It is an aggression tool and a defensive tool at the same time. Oh wait, we are seeing an MKB come down from Magnus8 with the Dobok. Oh, speaking of range, we are going to see range from Magnus8 come out. Those box are going to hit you from a mile away.
Those box, I love it. Okay, but guys, we have Lenny putting a ton of pressure on a Mage8 Magnus8, who we were just talking about with his very ranged Magnus build, is waiting in the wings, ready to engage on this as a third party. Again, one thing to note is just how long his range is. It's so long. For a melee character, I've never seen a Magnus with such long range. That is absolutely insane. They recently buffed Monkey King Bar to give additional range, and of course Dobok itself also gives additional melee range. So we're seeing Magnus8 here with a massive amount of range for a Magnus player. Tezca being forced to get away from Ashen by running through the red. Ashen is attempting to catch him here, but no, it looks like Tezca chose the right path to try and escape. Lenny, a lot of pressure being put on him by Magnus8. He is able to get away. Okay. Lenny would be the kind of person to pick up Clang Clatters off the ground. Come on, Lenny. We know you love your traps, but Clang Clatters, really? Was he trying to put him down right there? Oh, he is such a... Okay, please, I want to see a Clang Clatter. Lenny, please put a Clang Clatter in this bush. Oh, that's not a Clang Clatter. Anyways, oh, there it is. Thank you, Lenny.
Oh, he's dropping the Clang Clatters. I'm dropping the pendulum. Like, oh my God. I'm trying not to laugh with these Magnus8 bottles. It looks so silly. He's attacking from so far.
So far away. Oh, a beautiful bluff by Lenny will negate that entire slow. Lenny gets away basically for free. Good W. However, he's going to run right into Alexich. Well, that's not what you want to be. That's not where you want to be at that exact moment. Lenny dropping awfully low. We'll see if Alex throws down the ultimate right here. He has, honestly, kind of insane trigger control. He did not pull it out there. Oh, but Homecoming's here to fourth party this fight. He's got the Mithril Shield. He's got the Boots of Hermes. This is a almost full RNG Homecoming build. The ultimate does land on the Magnus8, but it does enough damage to kill our ranged Magnus player. Homecoming picks up his second kill of the game.
It's such a terrifying thing what you just saw there. Level 3 Yuki ulti will chunk you. Sadly, Magnus8, despite being a pseudo-range character here, will drop once the melee does drop right onto him. Mage8 is going to get some poke on Celeste here, and we're going to see Lenny and Alexich get some fight. Tezca ulted in the middle of Research Center. Again, he tried to take a fight of Homecoming. Did not exactly work out for him. But Lenny earlier did get a lot of fighting, and I do believe he might actually be on glove skill level 2 now, really giving him a massive power spike, assuming that is true. Alexich is going to drop down. He does get the root. Ooh. No bluff to Lenny's name right now. Homecoming coming in with the third party. Alex with the beautiful reactivation knows he needs to get away from Homecoming right away. Alex with the Sword Stopper.
Oh, I love Sword Stopper. Sword Stopper has been buffed a bunch recently. It's actually a very good defensive piece if you can't finish auto arms. If you're just looking for a nice free defensive arm, it's not hard to build, and it's quite defensive. Tezca versus Homecoming. Homecoming, honestly, the player to beat at the moment. And real quick, before we get into too many fights that... Okay, never mind. More fights. Celeste, getting away from Mage8. Okay, I just want to point out one thing before it just turns into an all-out bloodbath between these players. Could there be a more fitting end to this tournament than a Forest Final Zone?
No, I don't.
I was gonna say Forest Final Zone is probably the most common, if not the most common, final zone in this entire game, and yeah, so all these players, they know how to play this final zone. It is very iconic. We are seeing Ashen taking down Lenny. Lenny does drop before he can drop all of his late game traps. However many traps he had, those are all going to Ashen now. Now Homecoming, our current first place player, is dropping very low against Ashen. Ashen is kind of on fire right now.
Yeah,
ooh, Homecoming.
So strong right now, and I do believe he is trying to camp out Homecoming's exit. The Homecoming, really, despite the hyperloop, the only way he can come back into the zone right now is the same way he went in, and it's gonna be looking really scary. But no, Ashley says, I'm gonna just put on the aggression to Alexich here, which is kind of a scary situation. If you do drop a little bit low, you know you're gonna be dealing with 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th party. But Deus says, you know what? I don't care about that. I'm gonna bully Alex out of here. Teska's saying the same thing. Alex, we're sorry. We don't want you in this final zone. We are going to try to take you out of here. Teska with the beautiful dagger skill drop that does throw down the E, but the shield coming in right at time, and so is the root. The root reactivation. The heal from the execution. Alex is gonna barely walk away with his life here, but Deus is on the chase, actually dropping at the back end as well.
Homecoming ends up picking the kill on Ashen. I have literally no idea how that happened, but it doesn't matter because Alexich, got hit by a car. Well, it's more like a motorcycle, but still, got bulldozed right there at the end of that fight after being chased by player after player after player. Now we have DeusXM versus Homecoming versus Celeste versus Mage8, our final 4 players. They're all fighting with just 18 seconds left before the final square reduces just to the console area of this last zone. Homecoming, he has very little timer left, but he did get 7 seconds left by killing Ashen. All these players are making a mad dash towards the exit. Ooh, Celeste putting down bamboo traps. That's not gonna do very much, but hey, it's something, I guess. Looks like Deus is gonna hit it. Nope. Deus only has 7 seconds. Homecoming only has, well, now 7 seconds. Mage8's got a decent amount of time, but Deus has remote mines. Celeste has secured the inside of the building with double guillotines, and Homecoming has taken the sort of safer corner of this zone. Homecoming has no time to work with, though. He's trapped behind the stump, and he has no timer. Mage8 throws down the ultimate. He's putting pressure onto Homecoming.
Homecoming trying his best here, but with no timer and stuck between 2 ranges and a pseudo range here in the form of Mage8, he's gonna try his best to kite around here and really just do anything he can to get some pressure off of himself. But no, Deus is in the perfect position here. He's just been weaving auto attacks his entire time. Just look at him, he doesn't even have to move. He is sitting on the remote mine. He's just throwing auto attacks. We'll get the passive enhanced auto attack. Will drop Homecoming. Mage8 will drop as well. Celeste going in to try and finish it off. Deus.
Oh, a beautiful bubble coming out of Deus puts a lot of pressure onto Celeste, and Celeste ends up falling. Deus takes our final game of the ERCS Solo Finals, and Deus, well, with a wonderful performance, wins game number 5. That was a pulse-pounding final square between those 4 players. I don't think any of those players knew exactly how to take that final engagement, but what we saw there was Celeste and Deus doing the best of the 4 and coming out on top as our final 2. In first place, we have DeusXM, our first CCeles win of the tournament, with 3 kills. In second place, we have Celeste, playing Silvia, being so freaking consistent throughout this entire tournament. In second place, with 3 kills on Silvia. In third place, we have Mage8 playing Chiara, and of course, I do want to give a shout out to both Crone and Homecoming for being our highest kills outside of the top 3. Homecoming in 4th place with 3 kills, and Crone in 10th place with 3 kills. Guys, that's it for the solo finals of the ERCS. We're going to be calculating the scores real quick. Stick around, though. We still have these scores to announce, as well as some interviews with some of our players. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.
mind. I mean, if we want to go like do a very quick recap, we did see Homecoming with an insane performance game 1 and 2. Game 3, we did see a little bit of a downtick where Celeste decided, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing here on this I'm gonna go back to my Silvia, and we just start seeing a dominant performance by Celeste as well. And then just from there on out was a battle between Homecoming and Celeste, seeing some interesting picks come down a lot of our people, namely Tesco with some of the weirdest builds we've probably ever seen, period, game, almost winning a game on Rat Hygiene on the occasion. And we also saw Blem, who also took a game on Heart, which is not a character you would really expect. There's been so many crazy things going on. Poor Averse just not being able to get his build online for so many games in a row, having to compete with Ghost Electricity. And man, so many speechless plays where you had Alexich just barely not getting his reactivation over at the Pond Bridge. We're seeing Lenny steal wick lines with fire traps of all things. This series has just been crazy all around. And honestly, I've had a blast just sitting here with you commentating this.
Dude, thank you so much. By the way, do you want to, for the people who are just tuning in, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for those who don't know who I am one of the content creators for this game. I am Tomsorcer. I make a bunch of guides over on the YouTube of the same name, Tomsorcer, and I also stream this game a ton. You'll see me. I am the morning shift person for this game, while our Kiss a Homie friend here, Skaz, the host of this tournament, tends to be more of the night shift person. So, you know, you get a little bit of everything.
Guys, big shout out to Tomsorcer for being here commentating with me. I wouldn't have it any other way. But in any case, guys, it's time to reveal the scores. It's time to announce our winners.
I'm nervous.
Dude, I'm honestly nervous too. I'm bringing it up right now.
Oh, right. That gasp?
That big gasp. Here it is, guys. In first place, we have Homecoming with 118 points. He was consistent throughout the entire tournament. He had 2 massive victories in the first 2 games. You know him, you love him. Congratulations, Homecoming, on your first place placement. In second place, we have the Silvia Beast, the absolute monster on a bike, Celeste, with 95 points. And of course, in third place, Chiara, consistent as always in the top few players of each round. We have Mage8 with 72 points. Now, of course, guys, the pricing actually extends all the way to the top 5, so I want to give a huge congratulations to DeusXM, our CCeles player, at 53.5 points. And of course, in 5th place, you know him, you all love him, Alexich with 49.5 points. Congratulations to our top 5, and congratulations to everybody for making it to the solo finals. Guys, all of these players had to compete in a gauntlet of tournaments of their own. Only the top 3 from each group advanced. So guys, these guys already proved themselves as amazing players. This is the best of the best. And I just want to say thank you all for playing. Now, it's not completely over yet. We have a few interviews, hopefully, with our top players. So, with just a moment, we're gonna turn over to that, and we can talk to some of our top players and see what they thought of their performance. Stay tuned.
Hello, it is me, Alteris, the interviewer. I am back to do our post-game interviews today. It looks like we have 5 people to interview today, so that is guaranteed to be very, very exciting. First, we are going to get Homecoming, the winner of the tournament. I have some very exciting things to ask him, so let me just drag him up. Hello?
Hello?
Hey Homecoming, congratulations so much for winning this entire tournament. Your prize is going to be $500 US. Isn't that amazing?
It might be a new PC time. Okay, maybe I need like 2 more of these, but it's soon. It's soon. I will be able to stream my games at above 30 FPS. I'm so happy. Oh my god.
That is extremely exciting, and I do agree. So let me ask you my first question. So your RNG was your RNG drops were absolutely out of this world. So do you have a personal favorite set of bears or wolves that you feel like they always deliver you those items?
Look, Aesop ran a poll way back when, Dock Bears versus Pond Bears, and Pond Bears took the lead by a very big margin, but I mean, Dock Bears never do you wrong. If you go there 20 seconds into night 1, you will not be disappointed.
I see. Did you hear that, everybody? Screw the Pond Bears.
Wait, wait. I mean Pond Bears. Go to Pond Bears, guys.
Okay, you don't want to...
Pond Bears are really good.
Okay, alright. Well, did everybody hear that? Make sure you take notes. Okay, so let me ask you about your character choice next. You played only Nadine in the qualifiers, if I remember correctly, but for the finals, you completely switched it up and played Yuki all 5 games. Can I ask you why you had that change of heart?
So there were a lot of sweaty in-houses throughout the week, and every game I'd play Nadine, I'd get like 17th, 18th, 17th, 16th, because people would just beat me early. People would path for me. And I think after watching my qualifier games, people were like, wow, Homecoming's route is really, really specific, and I can definitely beat him on my character if I play for early game. And so after losing a lot and getting really demoralized, I had a kind of character crisis earlier this week. And I decided, since I'd spent so much time on Yuki before I switched to Nadine, I wanted to give it a try again. And huge shout out to Tony Fu. Way back when I was starting the game, he wasn't the best, but he always came to my stream, and he really learned a ton from me, and he's my best student now for sure. He made this route that I'm going by, so huge shout out to Tony. But oh my god, Bamboo, Prime Master, Linkachu, thank you guys so much. Oh my god, I had so much help with my playstyle throughout this week. I grinded so hard. Oh, it feels so fucking good.
That's really great to hear, and I'm so glad that you got the help you needed from our wonderful community. Your win is not just your accomplishment, it is the accomplishment of power and friendship. Perfect for our favorite anime protagonist. Okay, now
Are you crying? I'm not crying.
No, I have allergies.
Me too.
Okay, next I want to ask, what will you do with your prize money? As we all know, your mic is so quiet. Will you upgrade? Will you get a new PC? Are you gonna get that new NVIDIA graphics card? What are you gonna do?
So I invested in a mic already. I think it'll come in the next few days, but I definitely need to get a new computer so I can stream this game. I want to produce content. Everybody supports me so much. Every time I look at Twitch chat and tournament, everybody's supporting me so hard, and it makes me super happy. Can I tell you something about the qualifiers, all?
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
So after game 1, for those of you who remember, I had 2 kills, 14th place, but people were expecting a lot of me, so I failed super hard. This is when I was playing Nadine. And so I was really mad at myself. I was beating myself up, and I topped out. And despite me failing so hard, I topped out, and I saw everybody just saying my name in the chat and saying, "You got this." And I saw Bamboo. Sorry. I saw Bamboo say, "Homecoming, you got this." And I fucking broke down in tears. You guys are so amazing. I love you. Your community is so good. I love you guys so much.
I am so happy for you. We love supporting you. I am so glad that you have so much support coming in the chat, coming from the community and coming in our community. So thank you so much for the interview. I hope you enjoy that prize money. I hope you enjoy your first place. And thank you so much again for joining me for this post-game interview. Yeah, I will drag you back in the interview waiting room now, and we will move on to the next person. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks.
Next up, we have our amazing Silvia player, the cause of many motorcycle crashes, second place Celeste. Welcome. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay. Alright, I can hear you now. So, congratulations so much for getting second place in the tournament. I believe the prize for second place is $250. That is quite a lot. Are you excited for that amount?
So I can spend it all on gacha games? Yeah, of course.
Oh no, not gacha games. Are you supposed to wait for when Eternal Return gets skins and spend it on the skin gacha, right?
Like Blast. Okay, I'm spending it on Blast Survival Sim, so it's the same thing, right?
Oh, Black Survival Skins. Oh, that's very, very based. Okay, that is a great gacha game to play. Hell yeah, we love Nimble Neuron in here. Okay, so let me ask you about your character choice. So, I believe you played Silvia all 5 games. You are one of the most well-known, best-known Silvia players in our community. So, what is it about Silvia that makes you think, or that makes you feel like she is so good for tournament play?
Well, I played Aya the first game, and that was kind of troll. I wanted to make Link to you happy. That's my boy. But all the other games, I played Silvia, and Silvia is really good at running away and staying alive, so you can play for placement easy. And she's really good at stealing kills, so you can just bike in and bike out. And nobody can really contest you, because you have like 30 more defense on the bike.
I see. So you're saying that the key to placing and doing well in tournaments is ability to get in and get out really quickly.
Yeah, that's why he's really good. Yuki, because he can just dash in. Or characters like what's his name? Freaking Hedgen, because Hedgen's untouchable.
You know what? I do agree with you. So I understand now more about the tournament meta. So let me ask you about the prize money next. Do you have any special plans for your prize money?
Well, gacha games. Maybe I'll buy more RPGs, visual novels. I love visual novels.
Oh, I love visual novels too. Very, very good taste in here.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay, I have some specific questions for you about specific situations that happened in the game. So I remember, I believe this was like game 2 or game 3. This was in the temple final zone. I believe you and Magnus8 were fighting one third person, and you just spiked in and instantly got that kill. How did that feel?
Oh, it felt really good. So I was stuck between Chiara, Magnus8, and Adverse, and I placed down 2 remote mines, killed Adverse. It's really close. I had no HP. And then Magnus8 and Homecoming came, I think, and it was really scary because he can just stun me into a wall. But he decided to bike instead, which I think is pretty bad. So I got away with the bike and jumped over the wall. And went all the way to hospital because I was really scared to stay in Temple.
I see. So his bike was bad, but your bike was good.
I mean, Madness just has a worse bike than Silvia. See, Madness bike has 1 ability, and Silvia bike has 3.
You know, that's true. That those are some objective numbers that we can't argue with over here. Okay. Thank you so much again for joining me for this interview. Congratulations again on your second place. We are so glad to have you for this tournament, and let me move on to the next interviewee.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, Days. Can you hear me?
Woo, let's go! Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's go. Congratulations for getting 4th place in our tournament. Your last game was totally explosive. I just want to... There are so many amazing moments in your last game that I want to ask you about. So, I believe your first kill of the 5th game was getting that early snipe on Everse in Factory. Is your CCeles build, the build that you're using, do you think it is more suitable for that sort of early game aggression, or do you think it excels most in late game?
So actually, looking at the standings right before that game, I was like, I gotta get some early pressure on. Contrary to belief, my build is 3 zone weapon. It's actually not that strong early game, but I knew I just had to send it. I looted everything really fast, got really good RNG. So yeah, I just went for early kill, free kill.
Ooh, and in the last zone, the last zone was honestly quite a fiesta. I believe there was like 6 or 7 people, even though it was like forest only. And I mean, there were fights everywhere, like especially in that bottom left corner near beach. It was just a pile of 5-6 people going, like, you know, chasing a target around. And you somehow survived all of that. Could you tell me if you had any specific strategy going into the final zone to make sure you wouldn't fall early?
Hide in the corner so that nobody ints me and we both die. Thanks to Mage8 for going on homecoming instead of me. You know, thanks for that, because that was really scary. You know, I was just kind of sitting on my bomb over there, but you know, it all worked out. And
I see. So, and what position did you have in the very final square again? Did you have like the left side or inside the house?
I was on the left side, left
side.
in
Yeah.
the corner. Yeah,
I actually do totally agree that I think in zones that are divided by like an outdoors and an indoor section, sometimes the outdoor section is actually more powerful of a position than the indoor section. So glad to see that these good decisions in the final zone got you that last win to get you in our top 5 eligible for prize money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have time for a couple of shout outs?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Once again, shout out iHeartPie. You know, he's going to be in my squad for the upcoming tournament. That's my boy. And also, Miazroy. Hey, me and him, top two CCeles NA. I'm sorry, Skaz. Maybe you can be third, but like, we're working on innovating CCeles. Okay, I won't be playing throw forever, so you guys can stop saying that. We're going to be popping off in the future. That's my boy. And shout out Andrew. All right.
Hell yeah! Well, I am rooting for you in the squad tournament, and also I cannot wait for your newly innovative CCeles builds whenever those come out. Okay, thank you again for interviewing with me, and congratulations again for getting 4th place.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Okay, before I interview the next person, I did see some questions about where is Mage8. I did ask Mage8 for an interview, but of course our players are free to choose not to interview if they're feeling too pressured or just don't have a mic or don't feel like talking. So unfortunately, Mage8 will not be joining us today, so I'm very sorry about that. But of course, I want to say congratulations to Mage8 for that amazing 3rd place performance as well. Moving on, I'm going to get our 5th place Alexich in here. Hello, Alex, can you hear me?
Hello.
Congratulations on 5th place in this tournament. You are just at the cutoff, but you still got that top 5 placement, and you're getting cash out of this tourney. How does that make you feel?
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I see. Do you have anything to say about your character choice? I believe in your first and second games you played Jackie and Aya, but you quickly switched to Chiara after that.
Yeah, so I think Jackie was maybe fine. It's just with Jackie, it's really hard to secure kills. So you mostly, and like your fights are really long if you actually decide to fight. So the chance of getting third party is pretty high. So you either red jam and try to third party other people, but it's hard to get an execution as Jackie, or you just like don't fight and play for placement, which is pretty bad. So then I switched to Aya because with Aya you can actually win games, but the problem with Aya is the cemetery is super contested because Lenny starts there and he takes all the gunpowder as well as like a couple other people. And then I tried some other route, but that route goes to Dock and Homecoming just kills you in Dock. So it didn't work out as well.
That's
And
true,
after-
so sorry, go ahead.
After that I just switched to Chiara, and because like seeing Mage8 could have got consistent results with it too. And then I got pretty consistent results with it too, so maybe if I played it from the beginning I could probably like contest him for the third, but it didn't happen.
So what you're saying is that the correct way to play the game is in fact play PvE, rat jam the whole way, get those wolves, get those bears.
I mean, unless you are Celeste or Homecoming, that's probably the way.
I see.
But
Well,
if you're that clean as like Celeste Silvia or Homecoming Yuki, then you can actually kill people.
one more thing. You have a lot of fans in the chat, especially Vidify. Vidify wants to know wants you to know that his favorite play ever is that legendary Kha'Zix pentakill back in your League of Legends days. And is it true you work for Riot now?
Yeah, it is definitely true. And yeah, thanks for having me at this wonderful tournament. And thanks everyone. It was pretty fun. I got pretty tilted, so like probably some other people. But overall, it was a great experience, and I'm really glad that Homecoming won. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for this interview. Thanks for giving us that that
Oh wait,
silly
wait! I
fancy.
forgot.
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot a really important thing.
Okay.
Free BMW. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody type exclamation mark free BMW in the chat for your free BMW sponsored by our winner Homecoming himself. Again, thank you so much for joining us in this interview, and congratulations on your top 5 placement. Thank you for entertaining our stupid copy paste in the Twitch chat here, and I will drag you back in the interview waiting room. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a few more interviews. So this next person, even though they didn't place top 5, they brought a very, very spicy strategy to this tournament. I'm going to interview Teska next. Hello, Teska?
How's it going?
So, do you have an idea of why I chose you to come to this interview?
You know, I'm gonna have to guess it's because of how well I place. You know, top 1 is pretty impressive.
Ooh, unfortunately, you are just slightly off. I am here to ask you about your absolutely spicy, flaming hot character picks throughout the tournament. You showed us, you pulled out the Tonfa Hyun, you pulled out the Shuriken Hejin, and I am truly wondering, what compelled you to bring these crazy picks to the tournament?
Well, for those, I actually have to thank Tom and his wonderful stream. So I was just sitting there one day, you know, watching him, having a good time. And all of a sudden I see someone give him a build. And it looked like a fantastically fun build. But he didn't seem to really do it right. It seemed like he wasn't able to keep up with it. So I'm like, I kind of want to try this. And then I'm grabbing the Hanwoo build from him, which I then practiced for the next 2 days in hopes that maybe it'll be some kind of secret weapon I could use.
So you're trying to spread the gospel of Enad Tonfa Hyunwoo.
Yes.
Okay, continue. What were you gonna say next?
And as for the Shuriken Hyjin, I then saw someone else in his chat say, I will gift subs if someone pulls out Shuriken Hyjin in the tournament tomorrow. And I'm always one for a challenge.
So you did this so that Tom would get more subs?
No, I did this because I knew I wasn't really going to place top 5. So I'm going to need something surprising that no one expects and no one really knows how to play against.
You know, that is so true. It's really funny because in the last few days during the regular stream, Skaz has actually been practicing or showing off this really, really rat jam Shuriken Hejin that doesn't do damage, but somehow always lives to top 3. And that is exactly what you showed in this tournament, except you actually got some of the most hype kills of that tournament. You were able to snipe Ascent in hospital, I think, and you were in that mad dash for the kill on ERBS in that final zone. You were able to get that as well. So, is Shuriken Hejin actually viable in tournaments simply because of the ratting ability, do you think?
If you're a rat player, I mean, yeah, you really can't get caught at all. But if you're a player that usually goes for kills, it's not going to work whatsoever.
You know what? Yeah, I see that. Okay, thank you so much for joining me for this special interview. I was so entertained by your choice, by your character picks in this tournament, and man, even if you didn't place in top 5, you gave one of the best performances just based off of your character choice and your micro gameplay as well. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for joining the tournament. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you for having me for an interview.
All right, let me drag you back. Okay, our last interview of the day is going to be the Fiora man himself, Ascent. Hello, Ascent, can you hear me?
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me for this last interview of the day. You brought some truly spicy builds as well. Even though you only played Fiora as you are known for, you brought much more variety than probably any of us was expecting, actually. So I wanted to ask you specifically about that Poseidon build. We are no longer in the open beta, but you brought out a build that is very definitive of that open beta period. So why did you choose to go with the Poseidon Fiora?
Because basically Rapier sucks. So I wanted to play Spear because Spear's more fun. So then, yeah. I also couldn't play Gentian Silvergun because there was like 700 people Cemetery every game, so I had no choice really.
Oh, that is unfortunate. But I thought we were saying the other day that Spear sucks and Rapier is better because Rapier has 3 flashes.
Wrong the other day. 3 flashes sucks. You don't need flashes. All you need is damage.
Ooh, did you hear that, everybody? So mobility, we don't care. We want that straight hard damage. Okay, so so when you did go for that Poseidon build, it didn't really work out that well for you. Can you tell me what went wrong?
Okay, a little toxic, but you see, it actually did work out exactly as I planned. Because I wasn't aiming for first. I was aiming to beat Crone. Because I need to establish my dominance as the superior Fiora player. And I killed him with it. So, kind of worked, like, perfectly.
Oh, I see.
You know
Okay, so you're actually going for just the
Sort of a
dominance
counter
factor.
pick, yeah.
I see. Interesting. Okay. You know what? That's totally valid. And in that last game, I believe that was like the only game that you were able to get that Spear of Longinus, get that VF blood sample. Was getting the Longinus sort of key to your relative success in that last game?
More or less. That item's kind of broken. But you can get Cosmic Bident as well, and it's good enough. I didn't get either the first game I played it, I think like the first game I played it, I died level 6 or something. But the second game I played it, I didn't get Cosmic Bident or Longinus, and that was just doomed. But then the third game I got both, so if I didn't get Longinus, it was fine, because I have the Bident. But you need one of them.
I see. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this interview, and thank you so much for showing all these different Fiora strategies in the tournament here. Okay. I am sure all of our viewers who are interested in playing Fiora can take notes and try all of these out. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me again.
No problem. Buff Fiora.
Buff Fiora, yes. Make her Q stun. Let's go. Okay.
Exactly.
I believe we are finished with interviews today for the day. Thank you so much for listening to my corner of the stream here, but now it is time for me to give the mic back to Skaz.
Hey guys, I'm back. Guys, it's been a wonderful day of competition. It's been such a nice time being here with all of you, watching all these players play their hearts out, seeing all the amazing plays, and everything else that comes with that too. But, like all good things, this must eventually come to an end. And so that's it, guys. That's it for actually, I mean, it's not day 1. This is the only day of the ERCS Solo Finals, but that doesn't mean that we are out of intense Eternal Return action all this weekend. Tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to be having the first day of the ERCS Squad Open Qualifiers. Of course, that will also roll over onto Monday as well. We have 6 groups of intense squad action, so please stick around. We're going to have drops tomorrow, I believe, as well, which means more tournament play, more drops, and more fun. That's going to be it for me. Tom, would you like to say any final words?
Dude, thank you so much for having me here. You reached out to me to join you for this, and I had an absolute blast. I do believe I will be joining you next week again for the finals for the squads event. And hey, if you need someone for the qualifiers, you know, I'm just saying, I'm here. I'm more than happy to join you.
I would love to have you for the qualifiers, by all means. That'd be wonderful. But yeah, guys,
Please,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. That's going to be it for us. We're going to be rating Homecoming, the winner of the tournament. So if you guys want to show him some love, show him some support, because, I mean, God, he did so well and he deserves all of our love and support, then by all means, give him some love. But that's going to be it for me. Tom.
Yeah, it's going to be it for me as well, man. Yo, congratulations to Homecoming and everybody who placed in the top 5. Guys, Homecoming is a great guy. Go in there, type exclamation for BMW, show him some love. You heard him crying earlier during the interview. The man is getting so much support right now, and he deserves it. Thank you for having me against guys. Thank you, Nimble, for sponsoring this event, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you once again, guys. Have a wonderful night wherever you are.
Okay, there we go.